lots of ship talk. We're reacting to the whole thing, so get ready, sit tight, and let's get it.
We haven't done this in a while.
Is that cake? Oh, Reese's.
everybody.
I love Reese's, guys.
Happy
I love
Thanksgiving.
Reese's. Oh, yeah, it is
They
Thanksgiving.
couldn't
Well,
get
it
me
was
the
Thanksgiving.
pumpkin pie in time, so you guys don't really do pumpkin pie here, do you?
Yeah, the UK,
No,
they don't
we
do
carve
Thanksgiving.
pumpkins and
Pumpkins come out once a year.
In America.
Guys, look, it's the Star Kitten, it's the Star Kitten hoverbike. Look at it.
I'm your host, Jared Huckabee, and if you've never seen Star Citizen live before, well, it's usually where we take about an hour out of our week and talk about all manner of things related to the ongoing and continuing development of Star Citizen. Today, we're going to go a little bit extra because we haven't done a show in a while. Answer as many questions from the community.
Oh,
as many
okay, you're answering questions from the
my
community.
own curiosity,
okay.
as we can. Joining us on the show this week are three members of our esteemed vehicle content team. We'll go ahead and start here immediately to my right. Tell everybody who you are and what you do, John Crew.
I'm John Crew. I'm the vehicle director, so I look
I
after
always find his name so cool, John Crew. We're talking about like ship crews and things.
the whole pipeline of all the content, all the teams, all the studios.
So everything related to a vehicle is your fault.
Correct.
It's his fault.
That's not remotely true. Ben, who are you and what do you do?
I'm Ben Curtis. I am the vehicle art director. So I look after the visual side of the vehicles, I guess. Make sure they
Oh, so he makes things look
as good as
cool.
they fly.
So if you don't like how they look,
Yeah, that's my fault.
it's all his fault.
Everything else though is
So every single Drake ship that I don't like is this guy's fault. Me and you have a bone to pick. We have a bone to pick with this guy because it's his fault. All the Drake vehicles good.
Yeah. If you didn't care for the fin on the L21.
yeah, that's my fault.
Oh no.
Mark, who are you and what do you do?
My name is Mark Gibson. I'm the lead vehicle content designer and I make sure what John wants to happen actually happens.
One thing I like about this beginning of this show is that there's a whole bunch of content creators who are like, bring back the shows and whatnot because we need your content to make our content and whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, that's why we do it.
And they just
Just wasting your time. I'm just thinking about how many restreamers and they're like, waiting to watch. And
Restreamers, oh my goodness. So they know about all the restreamers. The amount of people I've seen just restreaming old CIG content, I'm like, can you at least restream your own content like that you've made? Like, are you guys not playing the game and you don't have content to show the world of you playing the game and you're only restreaming like CIG's own content? Like, that's kind of weird.
Let's start with some general conversation, some general stuff about ships in general, the project and whatnot. I want to start off with this year. This year, if my math is correct, and please, you guys correct me if it's not, you have now delivered 27 vehicles this year.
27
So my question
is crazy.
is,
they're in England.
WTF?
They're in Manchester,
Like, how
actually.
did this happen? And what's this change been like?
It's been pretty full on. So at the start of the year, we talked about doing this year of quality of life and content. So we sort of knew we were going to be
Ramp up
working at this
ship.
pace ahead of time. There was a lot of content to fill, a lot of ships to fill. I think we've done a pretty good job of that. Big thanks to not just the team that works on the ships, but all the supporting teams, like all the people who do the web pages and the marketing art and the trailers and
those, because the trailers are always so beautiful. The trailers, like, and there's a lot of work that goes into it. It doesn't look like much, but it's like I know the amount of work that goes into the trailers, man.
QA, everybody, because it's all just a big group effort, especially to do it at that scale. Like, it's the most we've ever done in any year.
Oh damn! So this is the most ships
Last
they've
year
ever
was
put out.
20, I want to say 23 or so. So even more this year is a big improvement.
I'll be honest, I lost count of how many we've done this year. It's been
Yeah.
a lot. I think the kind of like the transition to the like the monthly releases and everything, it's it's been full on, but I think we've kind of weathered it pretty well. I think there's been no secret that we've been kind of expanding the vehicle team a little bit over the last couple of years, and we're kind of starting to, I guess, see some of the benefits of that. Our concept team's grown, everything has kind of grown a bit to allow us to kind of get a little bit more kind of throughput. It has been a challenge, but I think I think the team are in a pretty good place with what they're able to deliver and the speed and what we can deliver. We've ticked off a few big ones, ticked off a load of small ones, and it's kind of
Oh
fun.
yeah, they've done the freaking Polaris, the Idris, yeah. Those are some big
getting through
ones.
some of the big ships, but also still being able to deliver a whole bunch of kind of new and exciting ones as well.
Finally getting the Idris out the door.
Yeah, the Aegis is crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
That's still
some
going
of
to
that
be a
stuff,
crazy feat.
Yeah, we kind
In
of
the
got
next
to go
5-6
to
years,
the
that's
on
still
the
going to be a
project,
crazy
but
ass
that's
feat.
that kind of side of things. But yeah, I think it's been a busy year, but it's been a good year. Like everyone's come to the end of it. It's like, yeah, do you know what? I'm very proud of what the team's delivered.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, and it's been reflected in every metric. Our daily average users are way up. Our concurrency is way up.
What is the daily average
And
users?
I think some of that stuff as well, to be fair.
I want to know. I low-key, I want a freaking player count, bro. Like, what is the daily average users?
We can't lay claim for that. Like some of that side of things, the plan at the beginning of the year for the year of kind of stability and improvements, I think, has meant that there's more people want to play and they want more ships to play.
Yeah,
with.
more people
And
want to
so,
play because the game's
the
getting way
kind of
more
work of some
stable
of the
now,
other
you know?
teams,
It's always a good
outside of the
thing.
ships that have kind of helped with that side of things.
I want to follow up with another question. So 27 ships. About how many were from the backlog? My next question is, there's this question that always happens. We're just going to jump right into it, guys, here. The decision between making a brand new ship that nobody's ever heard of,
And
straight
clearing
to
the
flyable.
backlog,
And
yeah.
by the way, you missed the fact that not a single concept ship this year.
Yep.
This is our first year we've done
Oh, no
entirely straight to
concepts.
flyable or backlog ships.
Right, because I was asking you guys like, how do you get the ships for like cheaper? And y'all said during the concept phases, and they had no concepts this year. No wonder. That's why it never clicked in my head.
No more. The era of selling JPEGs or whatnot is the folks on the internet like to say done.
It's done.
But where was I going with this? Oh, but the choice between the backlog ships, like how does that work? There's folks out there who are obviously waiting on their Banu Merchantman for however many years.
Yeah, everyone keeps talking about that shit.
And stuff like this, versus getting a brand new ship like the L-22 or whatnot. How do you make these decisions?
When it comes to the backlog ships, quite a few years ago, we decided that we're not just going to release ships that just don't have their gameplay loop.
Good.
Or
That is a reasonable thing because you don't want to release ships that have no purpose. Because there's a lot of things in the game right now, like they just have no purpose. Ground vehicles, for example, like I was talking about already, they have no purpose. So why are they in the game when you can't use them for anything? Why should people buy these ships? Why should people pledge these ships, waste a AUEC in the verse for these things if there's no gameplay for them? It just doesn't make sense. Like, there's a lot of things that's like, it doesn't really make sense. So I get that you don't want to just put things in because they're on a backlog or whatever, because they just don't have the gameplay for it yet.
main gameplay loop. And for a lot of those older backlog ships, they rely on features or gameplay loops that just simply
Right.
aren't in the game or won't be in the game
For quite a
within
while.
the period of time it's going to take to make that vehicle. I can't remember how many backlog ships we did this year, but I know the backlog has gone down because of it. Like, we've not added to it. It's net decreased. So when you look at the ones that are left, there is a sizable proportion of those that fall into that camp of they require feature gameplay loop.
Right.
And we don't want to start and go through a whole vehicle to get to the end and not be able to release it. We'd rather
Yeah.
use that time and resources to do
To either make
other
a new
things.
one, yeah.
So the backlog pool of ships to pull from is relatively slim, so that has to be balanced against, we've got 11 patches this year. We want to have a ship in every patch. We've got Fleet Week and IE, which we need to have a lot of ships in. So it's always a back and forth of shiny new content, upgrading older content with gold standards, and then delivering back.
A few things need to be upgraded.
So that's a good answer, and like I said, I should say we have answered it before, but it's important to continuously reiterate this again. It's the first show, and sometimes people just don't pick it up from the first time. It's while we don't always succeed. Obviously, the Clipper just went out. It's got a fabrication station in there. Crafting is not in just yet. Whatnot. While making 27 ships this year, and while working down not adding to the backlog with no new concept ships, while cutting down the backlog with delivery of those ships, you also, I think everybody's aware at this point that we're on the cusp of releasing finally our first version of engineering.
Yes.
Like we have been talking about.
Okay, they're on the cusp of it, but I promise you, please, TIG, don't rush this. We cannot rush this because the fact that things keep falling apart when they're doing the PTU, right? Like, Please don't rush this because it needs to be decent. It needs to work at a very, very decent rate because it changes so much. It changes lives for solo players. It changes lives for crews. It changes a lot of things. They cannot rush it because if they do it wrong, it's going to have a catastrophic. It's gonna have a catastrophic effect. Like it's just super stupid. I thought I saw a shadow. Oh, what the? Ah! Oh my God! What the fuck is this? What the fuck? Hey, yo! No, what the hell? Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! I thought I saw a shadow. I did see a shadow. Australia, man. Fuck Australia, bro. Oh my goodness. What the hell is that? Oh, oh no. Ain't no way, gang. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Oh, guys, yo, my heart. I thought I saw something walking on my table, then it jumped from my table. Like, I was literally like talking, like I was looking at you guys, right? And then something was walking on my table. I was like, what the fuck is this? Then I just started going, feeling, I was like, what the fuck is that? And I thought I didn't see something, and I look over, and boom, oh my, wait, hold on, let me show you guys, hold on. I'm scared. Guys, I'm shaking. It's still moving. Oh, shit. Yo. Nah. What do we mean though? That's actually traumatizing. That is actually traumatizing. That is actually traumatizing, bro. That is actually so traumatizing. I think it's actually just a cockroach the size of my thumb. It's literally a cockroach the size of my thumb. Look at the size of this, right? And that's after I severely crushed the crap out of it. It's literally the size of my thumb. And I'm a big guy. I'm freaking 6'2". My hands are freaking huge. And it smells like ass. Oh my God, that's so disgusting. Bro, we're not turning the lights off. I thought I was seeing things. Oh my God. Oh. Gang, I promise you, full size, it was like this big. Before I crushed it, it was like that big. It was literally this big. I literally had to crush it, and it was, you saw how big it was. I crushed it. Y'all heard me stomping, right? I weigh 95 kilos. That's 205 pounds. I stomped on this thing 8 times. It was still moving. What am I supposed to do? This is different level. Like, oh my God. Bro, like, where did it come from? Oh my God. All right, okay, let's lock in. I don't know, guys, look. By the way, I don't remember what we were talking about. I don't remember the last thing I said with this. I don't remember. I'm sorry, bro. Let's get back to the video. Let's get back to the video. Let's get back to reacting to this video, guys. We have a long way to go.
About engineering so long, the first time we mentioned it, I was dressed as a vampire. Like that's how long it was pre-pandemic, and we are on the verge of finally delivering this first version of engineering. We're currently shooting for December, before the end of the year. But obviously this has been a massive undertaking for your teams, because you have to go back, and as we're approaching nearly 200 ships now, not just convert the old ships to work with the new system, adding components and stuff like this, but making sure you build the new ones with this in mind. How's that been?
That's been crazy. It's a huge amount of work, and it isn't just they finish the feature, here's how you do it, off you go. We work with them to do the prototypes for it as well, so we actually test out and implement it on normally a test vehicle that gets chosen. But then to go back, because we've been developing ships for 8, 9, 10 years at this point, it means that how we've set stuff up over the years has changed as well. So how we have to deconstruct and then reconstruct it to work is different depending on when the ship was released. So on top of having to actually get the ships out and release all the new content, any downtime is spent in a combination of either bug fixing, quality of life for existing ships, or doing all of this feature support. Right now, the entirety of the vehicle design team is off doing tweaks and changes to improve how features coming out in December feel and experience, and we're actively making changes to from what we thought it was going to be to what feels better and is a better experience.
Stop it.
Literally right now, the team is sat
Stop
doing
it,
it, probably
guys.
listening to me talk about them.
You weren't in the room with me. You didn't see how I saw it. Oh my god, bro. I saw it from the corner of my eye on my table, and it jumped onto the floor and it was coming to me.
You know, part of the challenge is even like simple things like making sure the ships have got fire extinguishers. Like, we've known that's been coming for
Yeah, there's
a
so
while.
many ships with fire extinguishers
So a lot
now.
of our ships,
Even the alien ships
yeah,
have
so
fire
we kind of
extinguishers.
knew that was coming on, but we didn't necessarily know exactly how that system was going to work, and we had no real way of kind of like testing it. So really now, a lot of the time is, you think, oh yeah, well most ships got fire extinguishers, it's fine, but we still need to go through, test them all, make sure they all work, realise that, oh actually, there's a bit of
Yeah, a
collision.
few of the fire extinguishers, you can't really pick them up. Like, you can see them, but you can't actually pick them up to hold them.
But
So
it's
yeah,
tiny
I
bit too
guess
big,
those
but
don't
it's
work
fine.
then.
But we had no way of testing it, and it's those sort of little things that kind of catch you out. On the art side, we're probably in a better place because our side is less impacted by it. I think it's really kind of the design,
Yeah, there's-
that upside that's kind of weathering the.
For engineering, there's a lot goes into it that players just don't see. And we've been doing this process under the hood over the last 18 months, 2 years.
Yeah, near enough.
Basically stripping out the old item pipe system, replacing it with the resource network. That was a lot of manual labor to do that. The way that's been in the game since before 4.0 has just basically been all the items just automatically connected themselves. That was just to get the system in functional. And now we've been doing the passes of actually physically linking all the items correctly to the relays. So people will have seen in larger multi-crew ships that have released the last 2 years, physical relays, physical items, and it's literally connecting up the resource network for those. So when you have a ship that has an engineering screen, you can see all these connections, you can manage it.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, when I was using the Corsair and things, like, you can see all the things for engineering. They're all there. Even when I was in the Perseus, and I was like, okay, so this is the engineering room. These are all the components, and this is where everything like connects to. So it's pretty cool that you're actually where we are that close to engineering. It's scary in a sense, but it's actually really cool.
So the initial release, everything will support engineering. It just comes in different sort of stages.
Right.
It's obviously, everything has to work. Step one.
Ideally.
Ideally, yeah, exactly.
It's not always a guarantee.
Not always a guarantee.
Let's just be real. It's not always a guarantee.
But obviously, a single seater is less work and
Then,
less
yeah.
requirements than, say,
Bigger ship.
the
Yeah.
Polaris, where a single seater, you have the ability to repair your items through the MFD, and that's our sort of
Right. So yeah, because that's the thing, right? Single seaters are gonna have a little bit of an upper hand, especially when they get downed. Like, they get time to kill, like time to disable, because you can sit in your seat and still fix it. You don't have to get out of the ship or whatever and do any patchwork with your the patch gun. I thought it's called. It's not the oxy cutter. It's the other one that puts parts back onto your ship. You don't actually have to do anything like that. Bigger ships will have to actively put in new parts and do this and do that, put out fires and things. So I feel like the smaller ships, even though they will be a little bit more squishier, they have it a little bit easier for the fact that they can do it all sitting in their pilot seat,
case for a ship that doesn't have physical components. You could be able to do that gameplay from the cockpit, from an MFD. And then as we go through the ships, physicalizing all the items, adding engineering screens. Again, not every ship will have an engineering screen because it just doesn't make sense to do that.
Yeah.
You get more and more of that gameplay unlocked, but it's not like if a ship doesn't have physical components, it's way better than the one that does for the gameplay.
Exactly.
They both get impacted the same.
Mr. Malzero in the chat says, what about armor? Well, yeah, it's coming too. So engineering's been on Tech Preview for a little while. It was on Tech Preview without armor. When they just finished the code check-in, I was talking to Torsten earlier today. When it returns to PTU, I think tomorrow, the day after, as soon as the
So they're implementing the armor stage
is
of it?
where it needs to be. Armor the first version of armor will be in as part of engineering. And
Oh, the thing is, right, all of this is going to play into like tier 1 ships, tier 2 ships, tier 3 ships. So I guess like tier 1 ships have lower armor, tier 2 ships have better armor, tier 3 ships have even better armor. So that's the thing. When it comes to crafting, you can craft your own ship. You can craft the highest grade of armor, you know? So those are all the things that kind of like, it gives us a loadout, you know? Because I like the C1 Spirit. I would like to have a C1 loadout, maybe a military version C1 with good shields, but I don't know, less cargo space to add more like firepower or to add more like boosters or things or more shields or something like that. I want loadouts. I want different type of loadouts for your favorite ship that either makes it competitive in its like size range, or it makes you be able to do things that it wouldn't normally be able to do. Like, okay, you have no cargo space now because you opted out for all your cargo for more armor. Go do something that requires armor, you know, something like that.
going to dramatically change the balance between ballistics and lasers and all that stuff.
Different tiers of ships and everything.
Oh.
It's just fundamentally different
Yeah.
about how combat's going to play out.
Yeah, it's now you're now going to have this choice. You know, sure, I can use lasers if I want to peel down the shields and then melt the armor stuff, or if I know where the shield generator is and I've got ballistics, I can
shoot it
punch
right out.
right through that and take those out faster. It's like it's going to be a real interesting challenge and
Strategic
change
and tactical
to combat. You know,
dogfighting,
the more
yeah.
you know these ships,
The better you know the ships, the
more
better you
effective
can
you're
attack,
gonna be
yeah,
and
as a
stuff. And then of
pilot.
course, you know, continuing changes to flight model. The flight model will make that better and stuff as time goes on.
Yeah, well, it also massively benefits people actually taking larger crews, because if you're trying to fly it on your own, you can't go around repairing all the like components in the bigger ship. So it encourages you to actually go out with your friends because they stay in the.
Yeah, but I don't like the fact that when they say that, they don't hint to it's not going to stop solo gameplay, because I feel like a lot of that is going to force people into groups. Not everyone wants to play groups. I could tell you at least, I'd say 30% of the full audience of Star Citizen who play the game, who test the game, they don't want to play in groups. They know they have to sometimes, but they don't generally want to play in groups. So when they say things like this, you have to still put it out there that we're still not breaking solo play. We're not going to be forcing you to, we're going to have to add things that are going to let you still have the full range of experiences as a solo player. But there are certain things you can't do because you need a bigger crew size. But there's going to be variations of it that you can do on your own. Maybe there's less rewards, or it's not as going to be the same, but it's not going to be the group gameplay or whatever. And the fact that I believe that they're going to add AI crews later on. So yeah, they want you to go out with crews, but they're not talking about the fact that maybe we might have AI crews, so you won't need to have a real people on your ship with you, you know? They need to like kind of hint at it a little bit to give people a little bit of reassurance, you know?
It's going to be a huge shift in the dynamic of the multi-crew ships.
Yep. So we've got an ISC that'll air next week that we shot with Torsten. It'll go over a bit. When the PTU goes, you'll learn more about engineering from PTU than you will from the ISC. There's this other class of stuff. There are still flight-ready ships who are still needing their gold standard. Their gold standard. So let's explain what the gold standard is real quick. And
Right, but this is going to be my actual
if you're
first
so
time
inclined,
getting an
give me a list
explanation
of
for
what
the gold
ships are getting their
standard.
gold standard in 2026. I know it's a one
I'll
kind of a
take
one
the first
question,
bit,
but
and then I can't get in trouble.
I'm gonna push for it.
take
I want to
trouble
know
for a
what ships get their gold standard next year.
So gold standard, I mean, it's a term that kind of gets thrown around a lot, but for me, it's about if we were releasing that ship today, making sure it has all the
What would
features,
it
all
look
the
like and feel
functionality
like? Okay.
of a ship that we are releasing that's brand new. So really, it's going through and just kind of like, you know, ticking off all of its components, its physical items, the different interactions, making sure the metrics are correct, and it's really just kind of bringing it up to the gameplay experience that a more modern ship would have. Less about kind of making like stylistic changes just because you can. I think there's you know.
Whenever I hear like gold standard, people are always talking about stylistic changes. And in my head, when I heard the term and what it was essentially for, I thought they're just gonna make things more like in the game today. Because for instance, I always go back to my Avenger Titan. There's space in the Avenger for lockers and things and like place to store stuff. but there's no internal inventory. So I'm like, okay, maybe they'll make this space an actual internal inventory, or above the bed internal inventory. But people are saying other things, and like they should add this, they should add an engineering screen here, they should do that. I'm like, there is no need for that. Or they should change the cargo bay, they should change the look of the ship. And I'm like, why? I don't think the Avenger Titan needs that. So like, I feel like people do want these stylistic changes when they talk about gold passes, which I never really expected when I started hearing the term, you know?
Something to be said for kind of keeping a ship's history. Now we have, over the last 10 years or so, things have improved in how we kind of create the ships. So we do tend to go in and make some material changes. We might relight it and do those sort of things. But I don't really want to go in and take away the kind of core DNA of a ship. If we're going that far, then I think we may as well do
make a new ship,
a Mark II or a Mark III, or whatever it might be. But for me, gold standard is just bringing it up to the kind of the functionality that we would if we were kind of releasing it today.
Right, that makes sense.
Okay. So that's gold standards. There's a lot of questions from the community thread, and we're going to get to that in a few minutes here, about the other ways we update the ships. So there's the gold standard, which you just explained.
Yep.
And then there's an outright rework. You've got, I think it's Polaris owners.
Right.
Now,
Okay. That's the big difference.
Somewhat envious of the Perseus interior.
Like Polaris owners got kicked in the balls with the Perseus. The Perseus has all the things you guys wanted for your Polarises.
Star Runner owners are looking at the Clipper's second entrance, being like, "Where's my second entrance?" The 600i. Just do that there. Sometimes we do a gold standard. Sometimes we shoot for a rework, and sometimes we do a Mark II, as we did with the Hornet. So talk to me about how the choice between a rework and a Mark II comes about.
So with the reworks versus Mark II, it depends on what we're trying to achieve and whether what already exists actually achieves that. So using the 600i as a prime example, just as a talking point for one, when we made the original 600i, we had a particular vision for how we wanted the interior to be used and laid out, and then as the game evolved, we realized that the interior just doesn't work for what we actually wanted the ship to be able to do, what we wanted to achieve, what we want the experience to be while using it. And realistically, if that ship was left in the state that it was, it wouldn't actually fit its role or purpose within the game. So what we want to do is rework something like that. It needs to be taken back and then re-reviewed. And obviously everyone's seen the rework images, the concept board. There's an entire thread on Spectrum where people are keeping track of everything for it that we've ever said and covered. That's the rework. That's when what's there doesn't work. It doesn't need tweaked. It doesn't need things adding. It doesn't need minor changes. It's straight up, it just needs removing and putting back in. The gold standard can sometimes be just bringing something up to scratch. So that's adding, say, the suit locker's missing, or the weapon rack doesn't work, or other features that help the gameplay experience but don't require us to fundamentally change something about the ship. And then the Mark IIs exist, where the Mark I, the original, still works for the role, but we want to make it bigger and better, but we don't want to get rid of what the original role was being fulfilled.
So there's still a standard version of the ship.
Talk about the Aurora?
A new Aurora?
Too late now.
If we talk about the Aurora,
there's a new Aurora?
So the Aurora interior, oh man, I'm getting in trouble after this.
Come on, just give it to us.
Okay, so the Aurora is obviously getting the gold. It's not obviously, but people are now hearing the Aurora.
It's getting a gold pass. Okay. Okay.
Thank God I missed that. Okay, so the Aurora is getting the gold standard. So what that is, the interior still mostly works, but there's some tweaks needed to make it work with our gameplay loop.
Make the door taller. Every time I want to get into an Aurora, I have to crouch. Make the door. That I need to be able to walk into the ladder, the freaking stairs, get up the steps, and go into the ship. I need that to work.
But we don't need to strip the entire interior back. It needs a place to put weapons. It needs a place so you can actually walk inside with storage boxes. It needs a fire extinguisher. Right. We don't need to gut the entire.
Is there enough space for that in an Aurora?
That's why the Aurora is getting its gold standard. It doesn't need a full rework. And we don't want to change what the Aurora is, because the Aurora it's the Aurora. So that's when a Mark II might come along, because we could do something bigger, better, different, something we're more interested, engaged in, something that allows it to be more
An
than what
Aurora
it
Mark
was,
II.
but is something new.
Don't give me this might stuff. You already said it, and they already saw my reaction. And Aurora Mark II
Yo,
is
Pickle
coming.
Nick, appreciate the
Aurora Mark II,
follow.
but
Welcome to the
I'm not
party.
going to go into details about it, but it allows us to take the DNA of what a Mark I is, and then expand upon it, make it something.
A bigger Aurora might be vibes, you know, because the Aurora is a nice ship. It's just really squishy, and it's too small. When you get past a certain point of your gameplay, it's a little bit too small, you know?
Different, make it its next generation of itself.
Yeah. If you look at it compared to like, the
man.
Hornets,
Just looked at the chat.
the
Bro's
Hornet
cooked.
Mark II and the Mark I side by side, you can tell they are both Anvil Hornets, even though they are stylistically very different. They're the same roll, they're the same rough shape, and that's what we want to do with the Mark I Auroras and the Mark II. That you look at it and go,
A Mark
that's an
II Aurora, okay.
It does the same rolls, but it's new RSI style.
So
That's going to be
why make
different.
an Aurora Mark II? That's from the chat.
Primarily, a big visual upgrade compared to the Mark Is.
Okay.
But there are so many Mark Is out in people's accounts. It's one of the most iconic Star Citizen ships. We don't want to just
Yeah.
suddenly one day, poof, they all disappear, and you've all got this new other ship that you perhaps didn't want 10 years ago.
Yeah, you know what? That's true. Like, imagine they say, okay, we're not making a Mark II. We're just gonna fix the Mark I, and then everyone's Mark I changes, and they're like, hey, well, I actually liked my Mark I. That's wrong. But if you give a Mark II, then they have the chance to either upgrade or stay with what they have. And in my opinion, I have an Aurora in my freaking thing. No, actually, I had an Aurora. Then I upgraded to the Avenger Titan, and if the Aurora Mark II is good, and it's around the same price, and I can actually pledge for it or like downgrade to it again, I might do that, you know?
So it's the same with the Mark I Hornets. We didn't get rid of them and replace everybody's with Mark IIs. We
Made
want
them collector's items.
both can coexist, and yeah, like I say, as collector's editions.
Yeah,
for
I feel like a lot of
others
ships are
here,
collector
Back
items.
when the Mark I was a thing.
Yeah.
As one of our kind of like iconic starships, you kind of want, you know, it's getting its gold standard to make it, to bring it up to what we want that experience to be, and then the Mark II
Yo,
gives us an
Ozmax,
opportunity
appreciate
to
the follow. Welcome to
update
the
its
party.
visuals to a point that it, you know, like I say, it's kind of like the new generation of RSI.
Yeah.
So it gives us the options to do kind of.
But it shows aging, right? You want a game, especially a game that's been in the works for what, 13 years or whatever. You want to see aging in the game, and I hope as we get to 1.0 and beyond, we see aging. We want to see the 2009 freaking 4.5 Aurora. Then we want to see in 20 years in-game time, they got a new one, you know, like the way you have all the different versions of cars, like the Honda Civic, the 1996 Honda Civic compared to the Honda Civic of 2025 are totally different cars. Totally different cars. I want to see things like that in Star Citizen because that's the realism we're going to. That's the simulation we're going for. So that is perfect to get these Mark IIs. And there should be, I think there's, maybe I feel people don't understand it too much because they're hearing the Mark instead of like a new name. So they're thinking, why do we need a Mark II? But it's like, maybe there might be a better way to label them to make people know that, hey, this is just like the new version, man. This is like a new and improved. You feel me? It's like, this is like your 2025 freaking Honda Civic, not your 1996 Honda Civic. You feel me? And if people need to see it like that. We need to see change. We need to see the years go on, especially in this futuristic world. The years go on. The ships are getting better. The companies, the manufacturers are getting better at making these ships. So we need to have Mark IIs, Mark IIIs, Mark IVs. Look at the Iron Man suits, for God's sake. Iron Man, all the marks are different. They have different perks. They're basically all in the same line of things, but they all have a little bit of a different utility here and there, you know? It makes sense.
Making the originals function and play how we want, and also doing a kind of a full visual overhaul as well. And there'll be people out there that will be like, don't like it, I want to keep Mark I. And there'll be people out there that will be like, Mark I's not for me, I love the Mark II. And
Let's see the Mark II.
yeah,
The Mark II
that's a
might
good
be for
thing.
me, I ain't
More
gonna
options.
lie.
So I'm going to say something, and I don't want you to react one way or the other.
Then just don't put the camera on us.
But there's been a fan idea out there for as long as I've been here, well over a decade, for what an update to the Aurora could.
Oh my God. Okay. Can you guys tell me if I get it right? Oh no, we'll just watch the video. I want an Aurora that the way that has the wings, they open up. I want the wings to open up and like Like, bro, I want to be like a freaking dragonfly. Is that a dragonfly? Yeah.
And I just want to know, have you seen it and are you considering it?
What, adding ramps instead of stairs?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
We're absolutely considering ramps instead of stairs.
Oh, ramps.
All right.
No, make the wings flap. Make the wings come out and like transform. You know, when you fly, it transforms. You know what I'm
Leave
saying?
it at that. We'll leave it at that. And we'll go ahead and confirm that's coming in 2026, because why not? It's on the 2026 schedule. There have been a few cargo capacity changes recently. The raft, which was a big surprise.
Yeah, the
and
raft
I didn't even
got
know about that until it
reworked.
went live, and I'm like, what?
This guy just
And then a few more coming up in the future with the whole series. The Raylan, which we managed to sneak in there with a little hologram thing, as well as an announcement that it's coming in 2026.
What's a Raylan?
Which was nice. And I hear even cargo changes to the Ironclad are probably in order. What can you tell us about these?
The Ironclad, isn't that ship the big yellow one that you guys are all hyped for? The Drake one. That's actually going to be a ramming ship.
let's start with the whole series. They were concepted back 20.
Oh, alien
2015,
cargo ship.
15.
By the great Jim Martin.
By the great Jim Martin. Back then, they were everyone's favorite measurement of cargo, freight units. They had
How many FUs a ship?
Damn,
so many
Raylan.
FUs. And it got
I have
converted
to look that up because that
SUs,
sounds lit.
And
It sounds like a weapon though, Raylan. It sounds like a weapon, I ain't gonna lie.
as we brought the whole series to the game, the whole C actually, I think, kept at its original
Pretty
SE
close.
conversion rate. The hull A was 48 at concept, but we increased that to 64. Again, cargo metrics in our game solidified over the years. It didn't make sense to do this weird 48 because it didn't nicely fit in with the size cargo crates we have in the game. And as part of that, we decided that we want 32 SEU containers to be our largest.
So that's the largest container
in
we're
the
gonna
game.
get is 32.
There's not going to be like a magical 64, 128, 256 one. And that sort of has knock-ons for the whole D&E. But I want to talk
Okay,
about the
so
whole
those are the
B
biggest we're gonna
first,
get.
in that we've been working on that. And that was 384 SEU at concept. It's now
That's
going to be
not bad.
512. And it can still land with
In
the
a
cargo
hangar.
fully on, planet side, and you can get in and out of it as an important thing. There was a lot of finagling.
No, but it's like you can land planet side. Do you mean land or do you mean dock? What do they mean with the cargo out? Because imagine trying to land one of those flying dildos with a freaking cargo out. You're gonna flip and die.
to
Yeah,
get that to fit.
We don't have images. And I want to be clear. We don't have images because Ben gave them to me and I forgot to load them up. So you can blame me. But essentially, it went from this to like this in order to.
Yeah.
Should be a concept art.
Ah, okay. So it's
Well,
gonna
that's
it's gonna
that.
be
And
like
pictures and
this,
words.
Yeah.
and they can put like landing
Slightly
gear.
longer, but still within the same.
Okay,
hand.
that makes sense.
It was a
then.
little bit of a headache, but we tried a lot of different things. But yeah, we got there at the end.
So it's more of an X now.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be all right. It'll be a nice reveal when it comes, and you're working on it now. So
The thing is, right, I feel like when base villain comes in, I'll need one of those. I'll need one of those to carry around materials. Like, imagine you go buy materials, you go with your ship, you buy one of those, and you have a freaking pile of materials on that, and you fly home back to your base. That'd be pretty
that's
cool.
all we'll say about. Did you just say it's coming in 2026?
Yeah, if we're doing this, let's go.
All right.
So it's coming next year, okay?
Yeah, the whole B is coming in 2026 too. Let's,
500 cargo
look
space.
no.
No silhouettes this year. We're doing this instead.
Yeah, I got a question about the silhouettes. Talk to me about the railing.
Raylan,
Okay.
320 to 640. People have seen the hologram in the halls and seen a lot of comments about the triangles missing.
Yeah. So
It's not. It's fake news.
yeah, it's not. So the hologram was based off of the game we have in the model we have in game at the moment. We are currently working out exactly what we're going to do with the cargo on it in terms of I want to keep the aesthetics there. I want to keep it as close as we can to the original concept, but I also want to make sure that it works and you know, like I say, we don't want to end up with these weird shaped kind of cargo containers. So we're trying a few different things. Haven't nailed it down in concept yet. It's kind of in the next couple of weeks we'll start looking at it, but it will support kind of just standard cargo metrics. We will keep the kind of like the visuals of these triangles. They may be like a frame that kind of clasps around it and
Wait,
holds it
now.
and kind of moves.
I can't visualize what you're talking about. Oh, wait. It looks like the Sayulin. Oh, what? Oh my goodness. Is this what it's supposed to be? Okay. Is this the concept for this thing? Okay. Damn. So these things on the side are freaking cargo slots. Oh, don't tell me it's a vertical takeoff as well. Guys, if you tell me this thing is a vertical takeoff, I'm gonna be pissed. Don't tell me it's a vertical. Nah, don't tell me it's a vertical takeoff again, bro. If it's a vertical takeoff like the Sayulin, I'm gonna be pissed. It doesn't look. It looks different. Like it looks like vibey. You feel me? Like this is a vibe right there.
Not sure exactly, but it was just a case of we haven't fully resolved that yet. That's why it's not on there.
Okay.
But
Like a baby.
That is still the plan.
I might
Transformer.
go back to
Dead
the
ass.
D because I forgot to go back to them.
I was going to go back after
Okay.
we did the Iron 2, but you can do it now. We'll sandwich some bad news in with the good news.
Whole D and E owners, sit down, because this is going to sound like bad news, but it's
That's right.
it's the news.
You look right at your camera there. There you
one's
go.
this one?
Yep. Nope. Give him the John Crew camera.
Move out the way.
Give him the bad news camera.
Zoom in.
All the way. Your cargo capacity is going quite a long way down. So the D, and I've got my notes here, is going down to 6,912 SEU, which is a lot of.
Your cargo is going down. You're going from whatever the hell the number was before to 6,900 cargo. 6,900. 6,900. Why would anyone need, bro? Why would anyone need that much cargo space? 6,900. What was it before? 20 million? Come on, gang.
SEU. And the E is going down to 12,288 SEU. So, gut reaction, that's a big drop from a.
It was 20K. Oh, okay, that's a big nerf. Okay, I didn't know it was that bad. Okay, whoa, I take it back. I didn't know it was 13 Thou Wow. I didn't know it was 13 Thou Wow. 13 Thou Wow was a lot.
I think 98,000, and I can't remember what the D was.
Yeah.
But for years, people quite rightly said, this is going to be so boring.
98K to 12K. Okay, give me a refund. Like, if I bought that ship, give me a refund. At that point, give us a refund. Or what are we talking about? Give us a refund.
Don't want to sit and load 3,000 plus 32 SEU containers by hand, or even in an org.
Yeah.
Economy-wise, huge concerns. And then performance-wise, also huge concerns. So whilst they have on paper gone down by a big percentage, they are still
The top of the
the
game.
absolute top, and we have no plans currently to have any ships that get anywhere
Anywhere
near
close
those.
to that.
I can't think of one that actually beats the whole C at this point in terms of cargo capacity. So the D&E is still the cream of the crop. Their role remains unchanged as the bulk and super carriers. They're just, their SEU comes down to more reasonable
Manageable.
levels.
Okay.
Genuinely
I
infuriating.
guess if you have 98,000 or 20,000 worth of cargo, if you go near any station, everyone's gonna crash. You might just crash the whole server. I think mechanically wise and like in-game infrastructure wise, I think it's a smart idea. I think it's the best thing to do, because have you ever been around like if you don't have like a super high-end PC, if you go around like a Perseus or an Idris, Polaris, the frame drop is absolutely insane. So imagine the amount of frames you lose if something has 98,000 cargo on it. Yeah, come on.
Just to see how long it would take to load a whole E with the original numbers. Like, hand on heart, generally curious how long it would take to put that many 32 SEUs on
Probably
it.
4
and
hours.
We looked
man.
at the concept meshes of it, and there's some quirks. They basically add extra spindle for the D and then for the E, but the scaling's all like off, and there was just no way we could even get to those numbers with the current actual cargo metrics. Like, the spindles would have had to have like quadrupled in size.
Yeah.
As it was.
I think before.
Yeah, that's true actually. How you get
Interesting.
those numbers with the
Obviously,
32
we-
SEU?
We'll revisit the concepts when we kind of get to that point as well, because they're going to need a full pass.
It's one of those things. I'm looking at chat here live. I think a lot of people suspected the same thing. It's like the numbers never quite made made sense.
sense.
They were a mistake.
Well,
back
at least
then
people
when-
knew. At least people
these
knew.
These are ships that are not coming. in 2026. But we know the answer now. We know what the correction is. Back to some better news then, Ironclad. We're talking about cars.
Yes, so
Okay, the
that's
Ironclad.
obviously in production. Again, monthly reports, backlog ships, they're always mentioned in there. We don't keep them a secret. Ironclad cargo capacity, both of them, going up. So the base Ironclad was 1,536.
1536.
1536. That's going up to 2,204.
Oh my God,
Assault.
2,000 cargo space. Bro, imagine the amount of like smaller ships you can fit in that size.
It's going from 1,152 to
Oh my Lord.
1,440.
I see why you got notes now.
Yeah, this is why I have it written down. Again, they may change slightly as we get close to release, but it's that proportional change. Why did that happen?
We reshuffled the inside of it. It was the bulkhead move, and it was changing where the ladders were. So there was, as we went into when we went through White Box with the actual layout, we then get a good chance to walk around and play and feel what the ship would be like. There were a few changes that happened to the layout and how we were orientating everything. And as things push and pull around a little bit, there's a little bit more space. It made sense to fill it, so we ended up putting a little bit more cargo in there. It's one of those things where there might be a little bit of change. We'll never go down, but we'll sometimes take it up.
Do they have a crafting area?
Talk about the whole day in Hull E.
Exactly, bro. That's a whole ship. Like, that's crazy, bro. Like, literally the C2, it literally got that much more. Like, a whole C2 extra bit of space. They could have added like more crafting zone or something, or does it already have one? Like, what the hell?
Layout and everything, so just got a little bit more cargo because
A little bit, yeah.
Add it, and it looked dumb not being there because it looked just like a gap. So
I think that's it, isn't it? Yeah, when we were looking at it, there was some gaps in the cargo grid, and it's kind of like if they're justifiable, it's fine, but when there's just a gap, it's just people are just going to shove more cargo in it anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Well, it was just because the ladders.
I think they need to do some reworks on some ships because I've been in a few cargo grids, right? And when I did a bounty and I killed a it wasn't a bounty. I think it might have been Invictus. When did we have the mission where we have to go hunt the Polaris? I rented a C2 Spirit, and at some point you can't actually snap anything. So there's like a whole load of space that you can't snap anything to, and it's like, why? There's so much space to walk at the sides. Why can't I snap stuff in the center? Like, it just didn't make sense to me. And I know they had the elevator was there, whatever, but you could put the elevator entrance at the other side. So then that means we can snap cargo in just in that center line. It was weird.
Yeah. Originally there was paths so you could get to the ladders to the catwalks, but because we moved them out to the side, it just didn't make sense for it anymore.
The Aurora Mark I sneak peek image that went out a few weeks ago was sat in the Ironclad's cargo hold. There's just for a little bit of a
we didn't mention. And finally, before we get to the player questions portion of this show, this is the last question that's from me. Every other question for the rest of the show is from you folks.
From the players. Okay.
What was my question? We didn't do a silhouette thing for Citizen Direct this year, mostly because the two of you are lazy, I suspect.
It's a nice one.
Hey, yo.
So we didn't do a silhouette. We're not going to do one here today.
Do it live.
Don't get that hand shapes.
There's a whiteboard. I'll just drag it over. We'll start doing silhouettes, everything for 2026.
There are still two outstanding ships from that silhouette of things that were supposed to come in the next year. Go ahead. We've already revealed. We've already said the Aurora Gold Standard is coming next year. We've already said the Aurora Mark II is coming next year. We've already said the. I almost revealed.
Not that easy, is it, Jared? When there's so many of them.
Tell me what those two ships are.
There's actually three.
It's actually three.
There's actually three. So everyone thinks it was the MTC silhouette, but it was actually the MFC, which Ben announced in the MDC.
Oh, yeah. He said there's a new one coming.
Crafting version.
That's the fabricating version.
Mobile crafting station. Mobile crafting station.
It swaps out the rear section for a crafting section.
Crafting section.
Opens up.
Made some lovely images again.
Okay.
Yeah, does this. Just imagine the back.
Goes up like that.
It kind of adds a little bit of like shielding so you can get to your crafter if you're under attack and reload,
Chris would
rearm.
be so proud of us, right?
Yeah, I know. So yeah, we've got that.
The big Anvil Atlas chassis one is the Auxilia,
Yep.
which is,
Anvil
if you like the
Atlas.
Clipper, it's basically that in an Atlas ground vehicle chassis. So it has a crafting machine, same dimensions as the one in the Clipper, and a tier 2 med bed in it, in a big hulking great.
It looks really cool as well.
It looks really cool.
Yeah.
Nice little kind of forward operating
Anvil
base.
Atlas. That's like the military trailer, right?
Yeah.
kinda-
Yep.
Yeah, one
Okay.
person, drive it in, and you've got your little
Respawn and crafting.
everything.
Ooh,
Keep trying that bunker mission.
Yeah.
not bad.
And then the last one, a lot of people correctly guessed was
Glest?
Guest was a consolidated Outlands ship, and that
Okay.
is, I think, currently called the Forge. I don't know whether we're going to
Forge,
keep
yeah.
that
The
name or not.
Forge.
And you can guess from the name what it does.
It's
It's another
crafting.
crafting ship. It's
So there's
basically
those ships are all crafters.
a small to medium-sized solo ship with a whacking great crafting machine, bigger than the ones people have seen in the Clipper and other ships. And it also has a onboard refinery, so you can refine goods to make your thing.
I think consolidated outland. I think I found my new ship. I think I found a new ship that I have to have. No, I honestly have to have that. You can craft and refine in the same ship after all the money we just made from freaking doing what is it, mining? Yeah.
You are crafting or fabricating. And then 11th hour request for it as well was, much like the Pioneer, it's super big brother. It also has ground extractors in it, so you can land on a planet,
And extract from the ground.
extract the resources to refine, to use for your crafting. Yes.
And I mean, with that one, we
Wait, wait, hold on. So you're telling me you can land this ship on a planet's surface and it will start pulling up the freaking materials for you, and it's all for a single person? That might be that. Okay, I'm saying it now. That might be a ship that I have to definitely get. I have to definitely play with something
the
like
concept
that.
when
Something
we
like that has to be done.
paused it. The concept's super
Consolidated
cool. It's got this
outline.
amazing
So the
kind of
ones we made the
slab
Mustang
front,
Alpha.
kind of glass canopy to it.
Full width, flat glass.
Yeah, full width flat glass. So it was a really cool looking ship. Can't wait to pick it back up. But I don't know if we'll end up doing.
We'll end up tweaking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Again, it's got a, like we talked about earlier, we don't want to do things that we're not confident that the gameplay is going to be there in time for its release. And it got a few extra things added to it than when we started the concept for it.
Yeah, that's
So
going
then
to
that's
be real good
obviously
for
pause
solo
it.
players.
And obviously, if it hasn't been apparent now, the reason those didn't come out last year is because crafting didn't come out last year.
yeah, and you know, it was on the production schedule, but we knew ahead of time enough that we were going to end up with a ship that didn't have the gameplay, so we pulled that out. I
Yeah.
can't remember what we put in its place, but we
Which
released
is
something else
smart.
in its place.
Definitely smart.
So is crafting coming in 2026?
Ask that team.
So let's jump into the questions from the community. So the next 30 questions or so are entirely from members of our player base, and we've grouped them into a couple different subjects. Let's start with some Perseus questions. We'll start with the questions
Okay,
related
Perseus
to our 6
questions, okay.
currently new vehicles at IAE. And the first question, and these are generally in order of what they were voted up most that could actually be addressed. Will you be adding gravitational plates to the outside walkway of the Perseus?
No. It
Next
was.
question.
Yeah, next.
So if you're outside and you're on the outside walkway, you float away if you're in space. Well, that makes sense. You don't want to be out there, you should be only out there when you're landed in atmosphere, right?
There's a lot of people love those areas that you can walk around outside of the ships. There's some really fun, annoying
But
bugs and technical consequences
they
from
should
it
be only
that happen
for-
as a result of basically abusing the setup to get that to
inside.
function. And for the Perseus, we really just wanted it as this planet side, like
Yeah.
I've landed on a planet.
I
in
can
my
go outside
Perseus,
there.
And then I've got this nice little balcony on the side of it that I can go out
Yeah,
the
exactly. That's what I thought it
rear
would be,
bridge
right?
airlock door and then just survey the land and defend the ship from.
It's not to say that we won't ever explore some gravitational
there's-
plates on the
there's-
walkways.
Sure,
like
but
those.
it's not the physics grid method that we currently use. So that we used to have it on the outside of the character, stop people clipping themselves into the back of it and stuff. It's not what that system's intended for, and there's way too many consequences as a result of using it.
All those people hoovering up transport shuttles and asteroids with the front of their 890s and Carracks and things like that.
What?
It's their fault.
So it's all the whale's fault.
Why does the Perseus pilot have control over the ship's torpedoes when the Polaris pilot isn't allowed to use the torpedoes? There's a lot of questions from some rather salty Polaris owners who see the Perseus and
It's definitely Polaris owners.
why not me? So, what's the deal with the torpedoes there, Mark?
I'll let John give the good news.
Oh,
It is good news.
it is good news.
They're
so
nerfing it?
in 4.5, we're going to allow one of the bridge stations. We were talking about this last night. Which one
We
was it?
went for the gun, not the missile.
The gun one, not the missile. So the back right station of the Polaris bridge will have torpedo control as well now.
Oh, so you don't have to always be at the bottom.
As you can imagine, you can use it from there. There's still a reason to go down into the depths of the ship to use it because you then get that 360 camera, and it also has a much
Right.
larger queue of missiles from there.
Yeah.
So how many did we sell on there? 8?
8. So it can
8.
have queue up 8
So
at
if you want
once.
to bankrupt yourself, go down to the basement.
Each one of those missiles is like 800k. 8 of them is crazy. Oh
The
no.
Polaris and queue up 8
What are you
torpedoes.
shooting at?
There's
something you
nothing
want
to
to
shoot
do.
8 at. There's nothing to
So
shoot
yes,
8 at.
we do want to. And
I
people
obliterated
will
a caterpillar
have
with
it.
one
So at
missile.
least they're on the bridge.
It
together doing
disappeared.
things. Why not the pilot?
Yeah, why not?
Because we sort of want to have some enforced balance there. The Perseus torpedoes are way smaller, way less
Way
damage
weaker, right.
compared to the Polaris ones.
Yeah, the Polaris one is crazy.
There's this thing. It's like when the Mercury Star owners look at the Clipper. You know, and it has a second entrance. It's like this. There's this. It's easy to want every ship to have everything.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
real easy.
No, it is definitely.
and completely understandable.
Yeah,
from
no, I
a
get
player
that, yeah.
standpoint. Let's just be real. You know, you have your favorite ship.
And you want it
your
to have
favorite ship
everything,
can't
yeah.
do something that some other ship does.
Can do, and you get
that
pissed, yeah.
Irks. That just makes your brain itch. But this is my favorite ship.
It should
And I
be able
want
to
my
do
favorite
everything.
ship to do everything because it's my
Yeah.
favorite, and this is the last ship I want to fly. But
You can't.
weirdly, that's not exactly great game design.
not,
you
yeah,
don't
exactly,
want
it's not.
everybody to just pick one ship, and that's the only
that's
ship
the only
they
ship,
ever
yeah.
fly for the remainder of their time in the game, because that
Because it's true. If you think about like just in the MMO genre, that's the thing. It's where like some games you can get an armor set, and that's the only armor set you ever have to wear for the rest of your gameplay till you get to max level. Once you get this certain armor set, you do not need another armor set. That's like you're just working for cosmetics to make the armor set look cool, and you've maxed it out. So I get that you can't just give everybody everything they need in one armor set. You know.
becomes boring. You want choice. You want compelling differences between this
Yeah.
ship, that ship, and the other ship, and stuff like that. So while there's certainly things that can be done, like
Yeah.
adding the control to another station, behind the Polaris and stuff to bring certain things into parity, you don't want this forced equalization of all things.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
without even looking at the chat over there, I can already tell they're going, well, the Polaris doesn't have this. Why does the Idris pilot get the railgun? And I can see that, and it's a sort of different problem in that if you don't give the pilot of a ship that has a fixed weapon on the front of it control over firing that weapon, it's basically useless. You will never hit anything trying
Yeah.
to coordinate between.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, if you think about it, like if this person is flying the ship and this person is doing missiles or whatever, how are they gonna hit things? Like, oh, go left, go left, go left, go left, go left. Oh, stop. Like, nah, you need someone who just has it and has full control of doing what they need to do with that gun.
Two people with something with such force accuracy. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean that we're happy with how powerful that railgun or beam is and won't look to balance that in the future.
A nerf is coming for the Aegis' railgun. They just confirmed a nerf for the Aegis' railgun. A nerf is coming. They just confirmed the nerf.
But it's not justification for the Polaris pilot or co-pilot, because we had also had this discussion. Why do we just give it to the co-pilot, the Polaris?
Oh, how big are the torpedoes in the Aegis? The same size as the Polaris or no? I get the railgun thing, but also having access to the torpedoes is overkill. Yeah, having access to the torpedo as well is way overkill. I did not know that. Obviously, I'm not rich. I'm very broke. I have no money. So obviously, I do not drive these vehicles. These vehicles, I don't use them. Like my ship is a washing machine compared to these guys. The railgun, I get it because it's going to be impossible. As he said, impossible to hit things when you're trying to coordinate with so many different people. But having access to the torpedo, and if the torpedoes are as big as the Polaris, then that's cooked.
Well, then no one will sit in the pilot seat because they'll go sit in the co-pilot seat because they can fly and then shoot the torpedoes at the same time. So it's all sort of a fun multi-layered thing, and
They're keeping
can
it
seem
pay to win.
oh,
God
there's
damn,
ignoring
bro.
the problem, but there's lots of things.
I guess it's
and
the
I think
biggest ship in the
there's
game
loads
right
of
now.
balance Things, and there's loads of things that we've just learned over time that we could improve on. And we're not saying we're never going to go back and make improvements to ships, but
A nerf to the railgun
these
is
guys
needed.
are trying to
though.
balance them. So
Yeah, a nerf to the railgun is needed, especially if you have the
He just
torpedoes. They
wandered
need to
into
nerf.
one of my, I've got
Need to nerf the railgun.
my 7 catchphrases, that have developed over the last decade and a half. And one of them is that every ship that you guys make is better than the last. I mean, I really truly believe that. There's this idea.
I feel like that's true.
That it's another
Well,
really
so far
easy
since I
idea
got
to fall
here, yeah,
into,
it's true.
that we just know everything in 2012. We know everything in 2014. We know everything in 2016. We know everything in 2018. That we don't learn from each ship that we make. When the reality is, we do, and we should. We should learn from every ship we make. Not Falco. Oh gosh, I can't think of his name. When we were talking about the Perseus. Probably about the signage.
Yep.
On the Perseus, we should learn from these things and get better with every single one.
Do you want me to go into this or not? Or have we got time to talk about Perseus, Polaris, and things?
Yeah, by all means, do it.
So I think so. There was a little misconception over the Polaris, is that we didn't have signage because we didn't know what we were doing, or we didn't have signage for this and the other.
I assumed you didn't know what you
I'll be honest. I didn't want it to be overly signposted, and was that right?
Why not?
Probably not now, looking back at it, because the
Yeah,
general
it's
feedback
such a
has been
big ship. You do kind of want
people much
science.
prefer it. For me, what I was trying to do with the Polaris was I wanted it to feel like a cold, intimidating, brutalist space that wasn't like particularly welcoming, wasn't particularly well signposted. Like, they were all decisions that we were making to try and make it feel.
Nah, but okay, you want to make it look brutalist and things. I feel like that's an exterior thing. It's not an interior thing. You want to make it look like that to everyone outside the ship, because at the end of the day, it is a cruise ship, and a cruise ship means many people going to many different places. You kind of need signage. You kind of need to be able to give everyone a sign to tell them where they need to go. If they have a meeting in the bridge, and it's like, because the bridge has that little circle thing, right? Like, we had a meeting there when we were doing the Align in Mind. That's where we had our meeting before we set off as a crew. Not everyone was used to the ship, and it actually took some people quite a while to get around the ship because they didn't know where they were going. And as a ship, and if you think about it in real life and in a real like ghost scenario, everyone has this meeting in the thingy. They say, okay, your guys are assigned to the guns here and there. You're assigned to this bay. You should be in medic. You should be here. And then it's like everyone go off, and it's like, yes, captain, and then everyone goes off. If they don't know where they're going, how are they supposed to get there? You kind of need signs. I feel like the system, making intimidating and things, should be on the outside. And you can still do that with signs. Like, think about it. Pyro is ugly as hell, and it's dirty as hell. It still has signs, though. I still know where I'm going in Pyro, though, you know?
Just somewhere that, was a war machine. And that was kind of like the vision that we were trying to.
War machines still have signs.
Did the team ask to put signage? Yeah, some of the team did want to put signage on it, and I was like, actually, I don't want to overcook it. Obviously, on top of that, it was the first time that we were learning a lot as we were going. We were building out kind of RSI kits. We were kind of investing a lot of time into like the underlying structure that we needed to then be able to build future ships quicker and smoother. And I think, obviously with the Perseus, we saw that a lot of the feedback was people didn't like it, people got lost, they didn't like the lighting, they thought it was bland and everything else. So we used the Perseus as an opportunity, and the NA team, they did a fantastic job with it, and all credit to those guys that they looked at it and they were like, what did we learn? What are we going to improve? And it's resoundingly been a success. Everyone seems to, or from what I've seen, it's been very, very positive in how that's been received.
But doesn't that mean the Polaris might need a little bit of like another goal pass to change a few things, to rework it a little bit?
Are we going to go back and
Fix
change
the
that
Polaris?
on the Polaris? Are we going to go back and make changes? We will make changes.
Nice,
When?
okay.
It's not coming tomorrow.
Right. But at
need a
least
little
we
bit of
know
time to
it
kind of
is
go back and
coming,
focus
right?
it.
Okay.
We are making some quality of life changes sooner rather than later, but what I don't want to do is I don't want to kind of like knee-jerk react, make loads of changes to it, put it all in, and then them not be, just kind of rush it. I'd rather kind of do it right and have a little bit of time just to kind of.
No, that's okay. I feel like that's
let the
okay.
dust
That's a
settle,
good trade-off,
Look at what was really successful, learn from it, and go in and make those changes to it.
I feel like that's a good way to look at it.
I was trying to do one thing and it turned out people didn't like it, and that's fine. Like, that's absolutely fine. And I'd rather have the opportunity to go in and fix it.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. I'm just like watching a dev say that he did something wrong. People didn't like it. He made a mistake. and he's gonna fix it. I am watching a dev in 2K. No, what quality is this? What color are we watching this in? In 14, yeah, in 2K. I'm watching a dev in 2K just admit that he did something wrong that he thought was good, and he's gonna go fix it. That is the first. Devs never admit their mistakes. I'm watching a dev literally just say that. Do you know how crazy that is to me? The transparency. Oh my days. This dude just admitted that, yeah, he did something. It ain't that great. Bravo, man. Freaking bravo.
Actually, no, screw you guys. You're kind of done. So yeah, we will go back. We will kind of make updates to it. Will it be as colourful and bright as what the Perseus is? Maybe, maybe not. But I want to experiment with it and try it first before I kind of hard commit to, yeah, this is exactly what we're doing.
Appreciate your candor on that. Chat's made that comment a couple times in the show today. It's one of the things I like about getting to do these shows is that we get to just be real candid about that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's some things happen because of it takes a village, and there's 30 people involved in that, and a thing is like that because it has to be the synthesized decisions of 30 people, and that's why it ended up that way. And some things are, I wanted it that way, and you know, I take credit and
Full
also responsibility.
Yeah, responsibility. That's
Yeah, exactly. And I really appreciate you saying
that's pretty cool. I like
and
that.
whatnot. And again, just
GG's to
to
him,
read
man.
between the lines there. Eventually, he said he'd go back and look at some quality of
fix the
life
Polaris.
stuff in the
So
short
every
term,
Polaris
but
person,
this-
pull your
like
panties
the folks
down.
who have been waiting for the 600i, rework. This isn't a rework, but it's just when we talk about these things, we're giving our best intentions and knowledge that we have at the time, but that's not a schedule.
Yeah, and there's some things that we can do relatively quickly, and there's other things that take a little bit more time and just a little bit more thought process into it. And I just want to make sure that we kind of like we do it right.
Yeah, but I will say the RSI kit, like in the last, starting with the Polaris. You know, I know we just had some words about the Polaris interior, but there is so much of the Polaris that just pushed that RSI brand beyond.
Yeah, and then we also have the Zeus,
The Polaris and the Zeus.
The Zeus. Stop
And
talking
like
about the Zeus.
there
man.
was this whole thing with the Polaris and the Zeus where, for me, the Polaris was what originally I'd wanted RSI military ships to feel like, and the Zeus was this commercial, something like a little bit more inviting, a little bit more welcoming, and I think with the Perseus we kind of found that really nice balance between the two. So we just need to go back and sort it.
I'm excited about the future of RSI. You know, I've always.
What about isn't the RSI medevac as well an RSI ship?
You know, Drake guy, because I like the usable future and everything. But the last year I've really come around on RSI.
He's a Drake guy.
What I saw with the Zeus, what I saw with the Polaris was just like, oh, maybe I have a new favorite. And it's nice when your favorite also shares the boss's name, just as a political commentary.
Political stand.
This next question is simply, shark mouth Perseus skin, please.
Maybe.
No. You can't keep, no, okay, look, right. I know it's cool, but if we give everything a shark mark, like a shark mouth skin, it doesn't feel cool anymore. If you can put it on everything, it doesn't feel cool anymore. It's got to be limited to a few things, you know? Like the freaking Idris looks like shark mouth, you know?
I'm going to be non-committal. I don't know. I'll be honest. When Chris asked for the shark mouth Idris, I was just like, nah.
Well, you know what I could.
but-
You know, we got all these like monthly holiday promotions, Stella Fortuna and
Shark Day.
I could go back there. We could invent Shark Week.
Shark Week, okay.
Shark
Shark
Week
Week.
30th century.
I bet you Shark Week.
And just force you
Force
to make
it,
shark
okay,
paints
thanks.
for.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see if someone in chat
Make
says
one for
that
the
Shark
wolf.
Week's already a thing.
It is a
Yeah, no, okay. The wolf needs one. It works on the wolf, right? Like I honestly believe the wolf is one that it actually works on and should get one. And the fact that the wolf can be used as, you know, back in the day, you know those what is they called? I forgot the one they used in the wars. The ships that actually had the shark paints in real life. The wolf kind of looks like a futuristic version of those. Big guns, fast, nimble, squishy. Those had the shark mount on them when people customized them. So that would make
This is
sense.
the 30th century.
Yeah.
They moved over.
We just continued it.
Do sharks still exist in the 30th century?
Mandy, let's talk about a Shark Week. Star Kitten Perseus paint, please. by two different people.
Star Kitten, Perseus
One of
Pain.
them wasn't me, I
Stop
promise.
Yeah, I was
it.
going to say, is this Mark? So
Stop, no.
it's always Star Kitten, isn't it? It's
Yep.
bloody Star Kitten.
Just give us-
So,
Ben hates Starkit.
no,
It's
no.
going to make you look
Everyone-
so
everyone's
weak.
like, "Give us Star Kitten."
No.
Ben's just like, nah, can't.
Imagine
I
Star
refuse.
Kitten and you just
Everyone
get
thinks I hate
absolutely
Star Kitten.
railed
I
by
don't hate Star
Perseus.
Kitten.
It's like me and Drake.
I just want it to be used and released for a reason.
Deliberately.
Right.
Yeah, like
okay.
you know, if we have a Star Kitten celebration month, then yeah, of course we do Star Kitten paints. Like, absolutely.
Right,
But
right.
I don't want to just slap Star Kitten on it.
Are you
'cause-
challenging me?
No, just because everyone likes Star. Like, you know, I think.
They could do something with the lore and make, what's that influencer? Make her like start a campaign or something for Star Kitten, and then we have a Star Kitten week, and we can use her as the lore, like the start for the lore.
It's got to feel right, and just slapping it on the side of a ship for no reason doesn't feel right to me. I'd love to build out that whole family, whole brand a little bit further, so it's not
Star
just Star
Kitten
Kitten.
brand.
There's a whole host of characters.
Star Shark.
Star Dog,
Shark, yeah, that's fine.
Star Shark,
but
Star
yeah,
Dog, Star Whale, Star Snake, Star Worm. Oh my goodness! If they brought a Star Wolf or a Star Lion,
Not right now.
not right
Yeah,
now. What
unless
do you
Chris asked
mean?
me to,
Star Roach. Hey, no. You are evil. Stop it. You evil. Star Roach, bro. If they bring Star Roach, I'm burning my Star Citizen starter pack. I'm burning the
I
pledge.
doubt that request will come from
Oh, I don't know.
He does have a whimsical streak.
He
that-
is on
that-
board with
that-
doing
that-
more
that-
characters.
Now you
don't
scared
get
me
on.
again, bro. Now you scared me
The
again.
fact
Now
that
I'm
I've
freaking
survived
nervous
the
again,
news
bro.
proves he's got a whimsical streak. But last Perseus question: how will ammunition be replaced on the Perseus during combat? Will there be some kind of ammunition containers in the cargo hold?
Yes, so I think we've talked about this before, but I'll go over it again. We
Obviously
have
the
plans,
mascot.
short term, that you'll be able to sort of restock, rearm, refuel from select ships from the stores that you have loaded onto their cargo grids, and if there's another ship in the hangar bay, whatever.
Talked about that at Citizen
Yeah.
Direct. So
We talk about so much, I'm starting to forget
Yeah.
when and where.
I think what needs to happen is they need to start putting slots in these bigger ships where you have a reload capability. The same way I'm thinking they're gonna add like the kitchen and the utility there. Put in slots that you can bring in ammo or whatever it is, be it in the 2 SU boxes or the 4 SU boxes. You put it into the ship, you lodge it in. When someone is out of ammo, they have like maybe 2 slots they can refuel from, and each turret has either 1 or 2 slots, and you can press a reload and it reloads your ballistics, you know? I feel like that's a thing that you can do. So you have a finite amount, like you maybe put the big turrets that have the big ballistics, maybe they get 8 SCU worth of reloading. The smaller turrets, they get maybe 2 SCU or 4 SCU worth of reloading, and then they can only reload twice or something. I feel like that's a good way to balance it out. Like, what do you guys think?
So that's more for like rearming and refueling ships that are docked aboard your ship, landed on your ship. But the same will apply to ammo as well. So if you've got ballistic ammo on your ship, ballistic weapons, short term, it will essentially hoover it out the cargo grid. Mid, long term, we'll have like dedicated space
Okay, good.
next to those turrets. We sort of left space for this in the Perseus 2 turret rooms. They're just arted up with like fluff. You see it in the stance attack. There's all this cool artwork that implies loading of stuff.
Right, good,
that you'll be
good,
then
good.
manually loading the specific ammo type
Into that area.
and that will go
That's
to
exactly what we need.
Salvation questions. Can you add a button on the back of the Salvation to keep expelling the boxes in the buffer? Having to keep going into the cockpit to press the button should not be necessary. Thank you. That sounds like a bug.
Yeah, if you've pressed the button in the cockpit to keep auto ejecting, it should just keep
auto ejecting.
auto ejecting.
That happens for
it's a
me.
nice
I used it in the Polaris, and I pressed auto eject. And when I was auto ejecting, I was scraping things. As soon as it filled up to 1 SCU, it auto ejected it back out.
They got removed.
Didn't get it working. It is a bug though, so if we get to issue cancel, we can get that looked into.
What made you decide to lock the Salvation salvage beams to modified cinches instead of allowing them to be upgradable, swappable?
So the main role and purpose of the Salvation is to be a introduction into the actual the entire world of
trade.
salvage. It's a good entry ship just to get started, and we wanted the the heads that came with it to specifically try and be a easy experience. So it's very forgiving, but obviously the result is the yield isn't very good. It's just supposed to be, hey, listen, you know you don't really know what you're doing very well with it. Let's make it nice and easy for you. And then if you end up really liking the Kree and wanting to progress, you move out of the salvation.
Right.
We wanted to be able to very strictly control that experience and not have that head used on other ships, because it's not meant to be a good optimal head. It's just supposed to be a
It's literally a starter.
easy.
Yeah.
That's exactly in a nutshell. We don't want to add complexity to a starter.
Yeah. It's the same thing we did with the Golem.
Yeah.
Earlier
It's
this
exactly
year.
that it's when we originally talked about them, we talked about them being the opposite sides, one salvate.
Torsten's not here. I don't know if cinches are the best option for hull scraping. It's supposed to focus on hull scraping, but that might just be me being a little bitch.
The beauty of them being locked and bespoke versions is we can tune them. Like if they're not performing how we want, then we can change
because
them.
they might give it an upgrade. Okay.
All right, Clipper.
No clipping.
That was a. You ever see it? You know, there are things you see in this game. You know, in this project, you work here long enough, you see a lot of things. The Intrepid showing up early and everybody absolutely hating it, and then it going live, and then it
Everyone
moving
loves
like
it.
hotcakes as far as volume. The Clipper. You know, when we you know put it in,
Everyone's like,
you put it into build, and you know, those folks who data mine and stuff like that, putting out YouTube videos and whatever, and be like, oh, this thing's so ugly and whatnot, and then it goes live, and I mean, it's now the most successful Drake introduction
It is
that we've
ugly.
done.
It is ass. It is booty cakes.
Where was I going with it? Where was I going with this? I got lost. Oh, there's a question here. They already wrote it. The Clipper. What will it be able to craft?
Weapons. I think
obviously
it wears small
we're not
weapons.
the people doing crafting, so I can't give you exacts, but it's designed to be FPS items and small ship items.
FPS items,
Sort of within that world. It's not designed to be like, I want to make another vehicle. It's clearly not going to fit. And it's sort of part of the balance of that ship. Everyone's like, why does it not have a bigger cargo bay? Why doesn't it have a bigger this? It's the jack of all trades, master of none. It has
size
a
one
relatively
ship
small cargo
components,
grid,
which is not going to be bad.
relatively small crafting machine. Just
If the ship itself uses any size 1 like components, it could literally keep itself alive. Imagine you're in an engineering problem. Your ship is on fire. You freaking put out the fire. You need a size 1 component like shield generator or whatever, and you go craft it. Chuck the one that's broken out and put the new one in. That's gonna be pretty nice.
sort of constrained.
I guess it's gonna be really quick. That's gonna
I
be
feel
cool.
like there was a pretty good answer to this question in the Q&A. In the Q&A that got published alongside, and that's that, you know, basically, you know, crafting is still being worked on. We did a segment on it at Citizen Direct, what the very first version of crafting is currently scheduled to look like. It should
Crafting
avail
is in
itself
the
of
game.
everything in that first
It's
version.
in the game,
but then
on
as
its
crafting
facilities.
continues to develop and it continues to diversify, you know, the nature of what it can craft will probably change as the nature of what can be crafted in the game can change. So it's not really a answer that we can give right now. Trispone says, Jared, it's still ugly though. Your mom.
That's such a reply that I would give. Oh my goodness. Now, honestly, I do believe take away the med bed in the Clipper and no one will give a crap about it. I literally said that is the one highlight, is the fact that it has a med bed is the only highlight. The fact that it has the med bed, the fact that you can log out on the ship with a med bed, that is the only reason people care about it so much. Because it gives people a solo thing that they can play and they're always safe. They've got a safety net. The Clipper is cooked.
Why has the Clipper, despite its massive physical size, only 2 size 1 shields?
Again, it's the jack of all trades, master of none. If we gave it really
Bigger
big shields, like
shields.
when we were doing this ship, it had quite a few internal nicknames for its sort of its roles and capabilities, and we were pretty concerned it was just going to be like,
The one for all.
when people first heard about it, they're like, this is going to break the game. Like we need
Right.
to have some form of like balance and control on it, and that's sort of why it doesn't have a huge amount of shields. And as a benefit of having size 1 shields, it means you can actually craft
size 1
shield. Like if
shields.
your shield gets
Yeah.
destroyed, you can go craft another
Craft
one on
another one.
board and go fix it. Whereas if it had a size 2 shield, it's probably not going to
Yeah.
fit. Like we wouldn't have had space to fit it in. It would have got even bigger, taller, longer to fit that.
Also, it's quite Drake, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it kind of fits with the theme.
Too many guns, too few shields.
Yeah. Send it. It's fine.
Why limit the Clipper in speed to below 1,000 and not 1,100 to 1,200? This ship should be fast based on its name and the number of
It should be
engines.
fast. Have you seen the
So,
build?
We know his
It
answer
doesn't look
was
fast.
balanced, just where it's supposed to be, in line with it being a generalist and not a specific speed demon kind of thing. There are a lot of engines.
There are, again, it's
Too many engines.
There's a lot of engines. They may not be the best engines in the world, but it makes up for
It's
it.
got a lot of engines and
Yeah,
they
it
sound
is.
like they're
That's right.
Doesn't
exploding.
mean they're powerful.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
very
They sound like they're exploding.
It's a weird thing to like, but the animation on the engines is really satisfying to watch when you open it up. I don't know why. There are two things that are getting really. Again, it's really nice to see evolve over time. One is the ship animations are getting really, really, really dialed in. And two, I'm gonna shout out Simon and everybody on CIG Audio, your ship audio.
Yeah, the audio is
lately.
getting better across the board.
The L-22 weapons specifically.
The Wolf's noises were incredible. The audio from the
The
weapons.
alien ships,
Like,
oh
I
my
know it
days.
makes no sense to the vacuum of space. I don't care. Speaking of the Wolf, we only had only one question here about the Wolf. Will the kits for the Wolf be available in game for AUEC? Yes.
Yeah, at some point, obviously, yeah.
The Wolf weapon kits are no different than let's see how many we've
blades.
done. So we introduced the first weapon kit with the Idris K. The Idris K was a weapon kit, and then we introduced that back in 2019 and whatnot. And yeah, it didn't come online until May of this year, but it came online there. The Heartseeker turret for the Hornet in February is another weapon kit. That is currently not in game. I just had a conversation with Andre and the economy guys. That's going in game in 4.5.
Okay.
It's just one of those things that we didn't see it. The Nova tank Gatling gun and the Scorpius missile turrets. Those were sold exclusively on the store for a period of time to fund the project, and then those are in game now. These are absolutely no different. It's no different than all those things that we've literally been doing since 2019 with the Idris K. We used to make variants that were just weapon loadouts, like the Hornet Wildfire and the Saber Comet and stuff like this and whatnot. At the Starfighters, the Ion and the Inferno and whatnot. And I don't think any of us really felt super good about that. It was where the tech was at the time, and that's what we could do. Now with this era of weapon kits and whatever, we cannot have to develop an entire variant just for a loadout thing. And I think that's a better value proposition for our players, quite frankly.
Most definitely. Because it's going to be cheaper. You don't have to buy a whole new ship, and you can just swap your loadout. That is way better than having to buy a whole new ship just to get a different weapon, yeah.
But it is still a means of just like we used to sell those, I'm just going to call them kind of crappy variants, weapon loadout variants. We used to sell those for stuff on the project. Now we do these instead of those. And like everything, they'll go into the game.
At some point,
I don't know what the period of exclusivity is, but it's not hardcore and defined. It's like the Heartseeker turret's going in now because it just is. But yeah, those will go in. The Idris K weapon kit will go in at some point back when I leave here. I don't think it's in right now. So I'll go and I'll talk to economy after this.
Idris T.
The Idris T kit, right? Idris T. We've done weapon kits for a while.
So you can buy those kits in game?
Like this. So they all make it into the game eventually. So
Okay.
Can I just mention one wolf thing?
Yeah.
Is I know the paints were a little bit broken when they went out.
Right.
It hurt me, but it was either that or broken damage, and it was deemed that we wanted the ship to function properly, even if the paints were a little bit broken.
I think the
it's gonna
big
be
mistake is everybody
expensive,
assumes
though.
they go into UEC shops.
Yeah.
And that's never been what's said. They will be attainable in game. So for a long time,
It could be Wicklow, could
UEC
be
shops were the
finding
only way
it.
we could do that. But now loot is diversifying. People have just seen the physicalization of helmets and stuff like this. There's going to be certain things that you can only get through loot. Crafting is somewhere around the corner. That will be another way to attain these
Get
things
certain
in
things,
game.
yeah.
And Wicklow, everybody's favorite,
Everyone's favorite Banny.
which some people online, not completely incorrectly, have dubbed crafting light. When it works.
So Wicklow's broken. I've never gone to Wicklow.
Despite what some people online have said, I've never sat here and lied to you, not once in 11 years. I'm not going to start now. But all of these different ways are ways to achieve, or ways to acquire things in game. It's not just automatically
You can
UEC
buy
shops.
it. Yeah.
That said, the Wolf kits will eventually be in UEC shops. I'm just making a point that it's not just automatically that. Really excited about the Generalist class of ships, seemingly formalized by the Clipper. Any other manufacturers that we might be seeing some Generalist?
Anyone else? Crusader?
Definitely think it's in 2026. There'll definitely be at least one more.
Crusader?
I don't say any more than that.
We're just going to reveal the entire 2026 schedule tonight. That's right. All right. You're saying there's going to be another Generalist ship?
There'll be another Generalist ship.
I'm trying to scratch my head thinking what we signed up for. I can't remember.
It's been so many at this point.
Yeah.
Crusader?
And I don't know if this is the next question, but why we've changed the categories and gone through them all.
Yeah, in 4.4, people probably logged in and saw that a lot of the categories were
the ship names were different. Yeah, they were different.
I had a bug come across my desk for ground vehicles displaying as ground. And it annoyed me immensely. So I went into our tools to have a look at it and just discovered this web of
things that didn't make sense.
Stuff. And as you do, you start pulling at the thread and fixing one thing, and then you realise the inconsistencies. So we went through and aligned them all. We got rid of ground as a career, because whose career is ground? So all the combat vehicles that are ground vehicles are now combat with their sub-classification, and that just morphed into just re-looking at them all. Light, medium, heavy, freight.
Yeah.
We also realigned some of the categories because they were done 5+ years ago when we didn't have the range of cargo ships we have in game.
Yep.
So we've sort of normalized that out to new numbers. I can't remember if we've published that or it's our thing we're going to do, shipyard.
Yeah, no. We are. It's one of those things. You and I did the shipyard back in 2016, 2017, and we say every year that it's time to update it and whatever. Yeah. We are going to find time to do an updated shipyard in 2026. That's another thing that's coming in 2026. It's absolutely needed.
Shipyard.
I got to get these other teams I'm building fully up on board, and I'm not whatever. Then I can go back. Have you made any good progress on the Caterpillar and Ironclad command modules?
Yes.
Aren't those the parts that come apart? You guys said they're going to have to bring those into the game at some point, eh?
Oh, okay, fine. No, it's fine. That's fine. That's all you want from me, Jared.
Go ahead and say it.
So the actual Parasite stuff for being able to take control of the large ship and fly control. We've actually got the first playable coming up very soon. They've used a prototype of existing ships, but the ironclad in the command module have been built with it in mind. There's slight tweaks needed for them to use it with that, but first playable's coming up soon, and we're currently on track to have it come out with it, with the actual release of the ironclad.
Oh, wait, was there any truth to the rumor that you just took the command module of the Caterpillar, stuck asymmetric wings on it, and called it the Clipper?
Yup.
No.
Yup.
Now that you think about the shape, it's similar.
No, we turned it upside down and called it the Cutter.
Yeah, so that was the Cutter, yeah.
5 new ships released at this year's IE, yet all are missing a practical, quite useful element: downward-facing landing lights. Why is this critical element being overlooked in ship design? Are you stupid?
Who needs downward?
I mean, possibly.
Wait, who needs downward-facing landing lights?
I think it depends what context we're talking about. Because if the practical purpose of them is the same reason that people wanted really, really powerful headlights and lights on the ship, it's to help them navigate in the dark, so it's easier to land and go about on dark planet surfaces. When we kept extending the range of the headlights, it didn't work well. It's really unperformant. And when you got a group of ships together and they're all pointing at each other, it was impossible to see anything, because it would just...
But for me, it's like when you're landing, when I land, if I don't think somewhere is flat, I normally pitch down, look at it, make sure it's flat, and then I go to that area, then I go back up a little bit, then I just go straight down. Like, you look down, then you it's literally look, this is the ground, you look down, oh, that seems flat enough, you go, then you go, then you just land. You don't need downward face lights. Just check where you're landing, bro. Like, do you just put your foot in on a needle because you don't want to look down? You need downward facing lights?
just be like driving down the highway.
Everyone remembers the scouts.
Everyone's got the high
Scouts,
beams on.
super bright thing you can see from orbit.
Yeah, it was too much. But people need a way to be able to actually navigate in the dark. Like, absolutely, that's something that's needed. So
Night vision landing camera.
we do have plans for a solution.
Okay,
It's
well,
a
they're bringing
system called,
something.
we're calling it LAMP.
Lamp.
Not Star Lamp?
I mean, I didn't pick the name, Jared. I didn't pick the name of it. But it's LAMP.
Lamp is back.
It's to...
I love Lamp.
Oh, I love that film. The entire purpose is light amplification, so it's to let people be able to fly and navigate at night. It's currently in early stages. We don't exactly know when it's going to be going out, but what it does is it puts light amplification on all of the canopy glasses, so you actually be able to see what you're doing in the dark.
Yeah.
Oh,
With people
okay.
that use the FPS scopes with the light amplification, it's a more expanded version of that
For your cockpit glass?
for your cockpit
Yeah.
glass.
Oh.
So
Okay.
that's the solution to have you navigate at night. Now, if the question was because it's cool,
Yeah, it is
bit
cool.
chips.
Yeah, just blame me. It's fine.
I still want an underneath landing camera though. I still want, especially on, what's the one that took off and landed vertical?
Sulan.
Yeah, so that was good for that. With the Clipper debuting an integrated crafting station, are we going to see them added to existing ships such as the Carrack or Aquila?
Carrack, yes, because it was one of the promised features of that ship was this repair
Okay,
room,
right.
which at the time sort of was pretty undefined, but now it's repair is sort of like crafting your own small items for things, and you can sort of repair adjacently to it. And we were talking about the Kilo. We can't remember that being a thing for it.
I don't remember that either. I think that.
If someone has some hard evidence for that being a thing, put it in chat or comments or the Spectrum thread. Tag me on Spectrum.
Send your comments, Carrack, John Crew.
Yeah.
We spent like a good hour today digging through every single bit of the old marketing material for every generation of it and couldn't find a thing about it on the Aquila.
Isn't there Aquila
If anyone has
Constellation? That's a
anything of it,
constellation,
just
right?
Tag me and John Spectrum. We'll
I do look on Spectrum, but
you just don't reply.
I don't reply because I get a lot of tags.
I heard something on my chest. I thought,
So
I thought I didn't
here's
accept
another
on
one.
me.
With another large ship added, Perseus, conspicuously lacking the option to reserve a name, even if it wouldn't be visible in game, can someone please give us an update on the intentions around ship naming? We've had absolutely no word in years to confirm or deny that the original reservation system is
SS
still aligned with the
Stepdad.
team's philosophy. If it
Stepdad's
is,
gonna
then
be
what's
a thing.
stopping you from
If we can get 1,042 people to join Star Citizen, we will have an Idris and we will call it SS Stepdad. Yes, that's what we're going to call it, bro.
adding ship naming simply on the web hanger site so we can reserve the unique names we have in mind?
So from a vehicle content point of view, there's two things there. Since we introduced vehicle naming and serials with the Hercules and a slew of other ships, we've done the setup on all the ships to support having names since then. So anything in like the last 3-4 years
4 years.
Yeah, at least one.
has the setup for it. We're not, at least from an art point of view, not particularly happy with how it works because it's basically a fixed size, maximum 32 carat long length string that goes on the exterior of the vehicle. If you name your ship B, it's the same size B as if you had 32 Bs in a line. So it doesn't look great.
It doesn't look good, yeah.
It doesn't react to the paints. We get to pick the font and the color in the current system. So if you pick, you've got a black hull ship with white font, looks great on the default. You go put a white paint on it, it doesn't react to that. We need to enhance that. So either the paints have an override for the serial numbers and colors, or the serials do some magic to detect that. And we also want to like highlight them with lighting. So like you see on the Enterprise,
like
it has
billboards and
little
things,
lights
a
that
little bit
illuminate
lights,
up the name and the
the
serial
name of
number.
the,
And we need that to work with the dynamic scaling side of it as well. So from a content side of view, it works. We're not particularly happy with it. There's also a huge amount of work that goes on the platform side that they would need to answer. I know it's a hugely manual process because of the way so many people own so many ships, and because it's unique names, they do it in a wave system. So you need to go work out the owners of every ship.
Every ship, yeah.
divide it into waves, let each wave have time, and
To
like I
get
said, it's
to an
manual,
engine.
and then it has to be approved because people on the internet
They be putting
naughty
some wild
words
stuff.
outside of
Yep.
their spaceship.
Yep.
Yeah. And basically it needs feature work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really.
we can do it, but it's a huge amount of manual work that
I don't think it's something that's like super necessary right now. Like we're not there yet. Maybe if they had a way to so you can like you can reserve a name, but it has no implementation into the game. I don't think they need to be worried about things about it
Wanted,
like that.
Chris is being busters on it. It just
Yeah,
needs
and
feature work.
Nigel says, we set all the ships up. There's some polish and niceties that we would like to improve the visuals, but then it's more on the feature side that's the issue.
We need it to be scalable as well. From like the time investment to set it up, it's a huge amount of it. There needs to be more practical way to do it.
We didn't do any concept ships this year. It's our intention to never do another concept ship again other than the battle cruiser.
the
When
battle
it comes,
cruiser?
I'm going to watch the chat for this.
being a giant military style thing, if only there was a giant military style event that would be appropriate to reveal such things. That's probably where you might expect to learn more about
The
it.
giant military style event, isn't that the event that we are literally going to do in Nyx? Like that's in the game right now?
And definitely not here where we've already spilled the beans on too much of the 2026 schedule.
Invictus 2026. Ooh.
Have you identified a stopping point where SC will have enough ships?
No.
No.
Never. Exactly, never.
Well, why does there
nah.
have to be a limit?
Well, like
There shouldn't be a
we
limit.
haven't even like if you think of a matrix of all different sizes and manufacturers, we haven't even filled one of every size and role.
We just got our salvage starter.
Right? And
Yeah, it's gonna be-
we don't just want
I think they slow down after there's like maybe 2,000 ships in game. When there's like 2,000 ships, I think they slow down.
one in most of the slots because people want the choice, right? Some people don't like RSI, some people don't like Drake,
Exactly.
some people don't like
Those are all terrible
Origin.
people.
Nobody
I-
like
granted,
Drakes.
But we want people to have options, and we haven't even filled out the basic matrix yet.
And like
That will be at least
already
1,000
races,
ships.
We've got a few more systems to make and a few more, places to go. And I think
No,
there's a
you
lot
don't.
of,
No, you don't. I know they have you hostage. I know they have you hostage. Don't worry. We will save you one day. We won't let the Drakians have you.
opportunities there.
there's one alien race that
No.
is in the lore that we've never done anything with.
No, you're
Krithak,
just...
Yeah.
You're just hallucinating.
Shout out to Wingman. Can you separate docking and hangar requests for ships with a docking port like the Perseus? Please, dear God.
Ah, yeah, okay. Remember when we went to our first Vandal Tech mission, the one we didn't complete? Remember when we went there and there was a ship freaking docked and we couldn't land because a ship was docked. And I feel like whenever you're trying to land anything that's like that has a docking port, they just give you a random docking port. I'm like, why would you do that? I don't even have anything. So that they need to actually like flip that over because you can't have docking and hangars on the same thing. There should be an extra option that's like call hangar, call cargo, call docking. I feel like that needs to be a thing, you know?
As docking is quite buggy and very unreliable, it makes it very hard to get into places like Orizon, Alevsky, and stations. Is there anything more we can say other than I think every single one of us here is annoyed by this?
It'd be cool.
Yeah. We should probably talk with the people doing the command module work because they might be able to squeeze that in with their work. And actually, fun backstory that goes to the Apollo. So a lot of people, well, I think probably 50-50 realise the back ramp and opening of the Apollo is very small. That's because it's a docking collar. It's both a small one and a big one, but it doesn't function in game because of that bug. And I told the team not to set it
So
up as
the
a docking
Apollo
collar
has a docking
because that would
collar.
have meant that the Apollo would have had this. So every time you come to try and land somewhere, instead of a medium hangar,
It was always trying,
trying to do the docking.
Yeah.
So that's why the Apollo has this small entrance, is because it has a built-in docking
Built-in
collar
docking collar, okay.
to dock to other ships' stations in the future when we have the ability to split that up properly.
Ah.
Not because I wanted to stop
Yeah, I
vehicles
don't-
being crammed in the back of it, which was also another reason. But
Yes, Cobalt 016, but docking.
But yeah, I was going to say it's going to
Officially
dock
referred
from
to
his
as.
back.
There was a question about AI blades. It's not really for this team to discuss, but yes, still wanted, still intended. You might have seen some struggle with the MDC recently, and I mean that's essentially what is a PDT, but an AI blade controlled turret.
Yeah.
And whatnot. And you see. You're seeing right now, live and in real time, some of the limitations with the current implementation of that.
So they are working on AI blades to give you access to some of your other ship weapons and things, and that's what they're kind of messing around with the MDC. Okay.
I know that we were you were bugging things up, and you were chasing this stuff down. I'm watching. One of the pleasures of my job is I get to watch John pop up in like half dozen different chats, like, this needs to get fixed, and this needs to get fixed, and this needs to get fixed, and whatnot. So it's still intended. It's still the thing. It's ships like the Clipper and the Generalist. Solo players it is our intention never to leave solo players behind. Yes, it is a massively multiplayer online universe.
Thank you.
Yes, you'll be able to always do more.
It took them 2 hours to say this.
And with colleagues and allies and stuff like this. But there should be a place for people who don't want to do any of that. We're very passionate about that. That is still at the core of our intention for this game. And things like AI blades, things like, we used to talk a lot about NPC crews, stuff like that.
Yes, they finally talked about it, guys. I literally said this like an hour ago. They're finally talking about AI blades, NPC crew. Finally.
It was designed for that. It's just all things in their time.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people, obviously, on Spectrum and Reddit talking about, oh, well, they've got the flight blades and the AI blades. Surely it's easy just to get the rest of it in. That the way we've had to implement them, it isn't how blades are going to have to work. We've had to use our current systems in interesting ways to get them to function the way that they are, and it's just not how blades are going to be.
Will ships like the Perseus and other multi-crew ships, for that matter, ever get missions with scalable payouts rewards that actually encourage multi-crew? I don't see the point of any multi-crew ships like the Perseus when nothing in this game rewards group play, as rewards and credits are always split.
I think they said they're going to do that.
Again, this is not one for the vehicle content team, but if you follow along with the monthly report, it's like this. You'll see occasional mentions of Mission 2.0. This is, I mean, I'm going to sound a little like a broken record here. It's another refactoring of the entire mission system in order to do the things that we all wanted to do. For years, missions weren't able to give you rewards. You couldn't ever complete a reward and get anything other than credits for that and stuff. It's just one of the challenges of we run a live environment during the development of our game. Most games get to do all this secret that you would never get a mission system that doesn't have, things like we can give you an item for a reward and stuff like this. The mission system that they're currently working on and whatnot is the thing that we've been specking out for years. It's the thing that will unlock incredibly dedicated developers like Elliot Maltby and Yorin and all those, and when you only list 2 names, you start to sound like a real jerk because you don't list everybody else. Max, and I'm blanking on other names. They're going to think, thanks for not mentioning me. But all those members of the mission team, they are chomping at the bit. They want this new system too, so that they can do exactly the kinds of things that you're talking about. It's just another way that Star Citizen will continue to evolve. And after a year, that's been relatively dry with features, and we knew it would be. We came out here, I sat here for 2-3 hours with Benoit at the beginning of the year saying that the 2026 schedule should be. We've done a lot of talking about 2026. I want to say this as honestly and as candidly as I can. I'm using the word should be because the other maxim that I've run into the ground is the only constant in game development is change. It should be a marked change from 2025 as far as feature work goes. It won't be the relentless pace of 2024 or 2023 as far as broken, half-finished things. But we took this year to get those proverbial ducks in a row to develop these things further along.
Good.
So
Because sometimes I'm like, even with Nyx, I am pissed with Nyx. Nyx is too empty. It's not finished. You guys should have taken a little bit more time before dropping Nyx. We didn't need to do it. We already got Pyro this year. You could have taken a few more extra months to get Nyx looking a little bit more woof, 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 to get it a little bit more better, because it's just too empty. And we don't even have Genesis planet building right now. So all the planets are meant to be on Nyx, and maybe all these new cool planets are not there yet. So I feel like we need to be making things a little bit more complete than just pressing the button to hit the goals. Okay, guys? Okay, guys?
So it is, you'll see with engineering on the horizon, and then crafting tech preview after that, and then hopefully all on its way to base building and a whole host of things like scanning and radar improvements and stuff in between.
FPS scanning.
Everybody
FPS scanning.
2026 is going to have a lot more stuff like that, including
To outline the enemies.
mission system work, which is how I got on this. When are we getting the Polaris and other newly released capital ships into PU shops? That goes back to the answer I gave earlier today. Not every ship is going to
Yeah, please don't put the Polaris in the shop. Please don't, because if everyone and their uncle can get a Polaris, we are all doomed. There's going to be no other ship in the sky, only Polarises, then that's going to be cooked. What's up, Tetsu? Welcome to the stream.
going to UEC shops. It's just not. These ships will be attainable in-game. These ships will be earnable in-game. That's not the same as every ship goes into a store. This is one of those things that he'll forgive me if I speak on his behalf, but I've literally heard him say these words. It's like the idea that you go into a Hertz rent-a-car and rent a Nimitz-class aircraft carrier. Like it just makes the brain itch. It's like there should be other ways. That's where crafting comes in. That's where, to an extent, at the moment, Wicklow comes in. So like this, and then other ways, reputation gains and stuff like that. There'll be many more ways for you to attain these ships other than just UEC. It's just, frankly, boring and not particularly interesting, which are, I guess, are the same thing. Can we please get a general quarters alarm on multi-crew ships? Gosh, we were talking on that show that I had Simon and Phil on earlier. They committed to doing that on that ship. And if I'm misremembering that, and they didn't, I'm going to say they did right now. But yes, again, it's one of those things. There's not a human being here that doesn't want it.
Who doesn't want that red alert moment?
You need it. You need that red alert moment. All hands, the battle stations. Will ballistic weapons have different types of ammunition? For example, high velocity, explosive, incendiary.
That's still the plan as far as I'm aware. Again, that's not
nice.
Really a thing. That's just that's a game-wide
thing.
Types question for the game.
Imagine explosive
rounds.
Damn, you just get hit with the boom, 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 boom.
Are you ever going to make turrets actually decent?
Yes.
Or should we just all bring light fighters? Yeah, that's the work of Rich's team or whatever. They've done several passes and making improvements of them over the years. They have gotten better, but I don't think anybody's going to sit here and tell you they're where everybody wants it to be.
I don't really use turrets.
I quite like the idea of
turrets
fighters as turrets that you can eject off. And
you keep bringing that up.
I know.
What?
Mark is shutting me down.
What?
He wants ships as turrets that detach.
Guys, okay, wait. That just brought an idea to my head. You know the little Furies, right? They are shaped like turrets. Imagine a ship that the Furies can dock into, and then when the fight starts, the pilot can go into the Fury, either sit there like a turret and go grrr, or undock and go out and fly around shooting. And when the fight is over, if they survive, come back in and redock, and the Fury's back to being a turret. Oh my lord. That would be vibes, right?
Catch and fly off.
I'll fly around, shoot things and come back.
Like detachable turret pods?
Yeah.
That just fly around?
In the back,
Furies.
fly around, blow some stuff up, come back, land. Marky's shut me down. He's the reason of good.
I'll accept that reason. I will, if people don't like that one, I will bear that cross.
Nah, that's actually a good idea. Imagine detachable Furies. Nah, that would be too fire. I never thought of that. What the hell?
We'll be able to do it, right, when we get the command module and iPad stuff.
Whether just because we can doesn't mean we should.
No, you should.
development.
Nah, you should.
Oh, chat's going real fast. Hold on.
See, they love it.
Furies, man.
That's not what I'm seeing here.
Oh, okay.
Team Mark, if you agree with
Yep.
not doing it and it's
Yep.
a bad idea. Team Ben, if you think it's a good idea.
The LGBT Alaban says,
love it.
fix the things in game first. I could be really snide here, but this is a comment that comes up very often, so I'm going to address it. Nearly 1,000 people who work for CIG between Star Citizen and Squadron 42.
Arsenalberg.
And the
Ace,
people
I've never seen Ace
who-
Combat.
who worked on the
Or played
30K errors and whatnot are not the same people that build the Argo Mole. And so like this, it's not a question of fix this first before you do that. It is with hundreds and hundreds of people on dozens and dozens of teams, all with different focuses, all with different aptitudes, stuff like this. It's possible to do these things over here, not at the expense of these things over here. And in fact, allowing these people to do these things are how these people get to focus and how these people get to bury their head, in their work and just hit on it. There has been a freight elevator strike team going since just before, was it Race for Stanton? Was that one? And they have not stopped. There's been
To
there's
fix the
been a
elevators.
little strike team.
Well,
and I'm
we
privileged to
needed
be
a
in that
strike
chat, and
team.
I get to see them every single day.
We
They have
definitely
not
needed that.
stopped
Because we
one
needed that.
day
It was so cooked.
since Race for Stanton, working and fixing freight elevator stuff and all the various edge cases and on hardening that system. And they get to do that because we have other teams, content teams, working to put other things in the game to keep engagement going, to keep the game, alive and thriving while they keep their heads down and focused on that.
Fix on elevators,
So
yeah.
it is not ever a question of fix this before you do that. We're doing both. We're doing both with 2 different teams, 3 different teams, 5 different teams, 10 different teams, and things will be done in their time, which is not
That makes
always the
sense.
super delightful answer.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the best answer all the time. But
Kind of
it's
sucks
true.
to be told it's not tomorrow.
Like, honestly, how bad were they? 3 months later, they're still fixing it. They're still doing it. That's crazy.
But but no, it's just I want to take that opportunity just to smash it because I see that, and it's a totally normal thing to think that you can't do this. You should do this before.
Yeah,
you do
there's
this,
too
because
many
it's just
moving
not the way
parts. Yeah, there's
game
too many
development
moving
works.
parts.
But let's give. I hit the content. I hit some of the content creators at the beginning of the show. The people who do the
What are they working on?
what is it called when they do the watch?
Oh,
when they
watch
do
parties, like
No, not watch party. It's not a party.
Co-streaming.
No, when they sit there and they react videos. That's
Oh,
what
you
it's
got
called.
Ironclad and Galaxy in your hangar?
Let's give people. Let's give them something to react to that they can feed.
Yes, I think the generalist. I don't think it was a generalist ship. I think it was just a whatchamacallit. It was a crafting and forging ship, wasn't it? Wasn't it like a crafting and forging ship where you can refine and you can also craft? Wasn't that what it was?
Feed the beast because they do wonderful service for our project and get the game out and stuff like this. Let's reveal the manufacturers of every ship in 2026 because we know what the schedule
I hope
is.
someone's got the list.
Okay.
Let's reveal the
Releasing or working on?
Crusader.
Two different.
just the manufacturers
Not the
of
ship.
the
Okay.
releasing ships. in
Crusader.
2026.
Anvil. Crusader. Anvil.
Drake.
Yep.
Aegis.
RSI.
Aegis. Yep.
Okay.
Did you
RSI.
say RSI?
Yep.
RSI.
Anvil.
Anvil. Okay.
Yes. A MISC ship.
Oh, Kruger.
Kruger
Yep.
is getting another ship.
What else we got?
Grays.
Grays is getting another ship.
Origin.
Origin is back.
Origin.
Origin is back with another ship next year.
Is the Forge going to be Origin?
Gatak.
Imagine the Forge is Origin. Well, they just said Gatak, right? Gatak, that's the Raylan. That's the Raylan.
Gatak has another ship next year.
That's Raylan.
And Greycat.
And Greycat.
Greycat's getting.
Bro, if something
So
good from
those are
Origin
the
would be
crazy
nice.
content. Those are the
I'm trying to go rack my brain. These
Yeah.
questions hurt me.
Yeah. So those are the manufacturers who are releasing new ships in 2026. And
Origin.
immediately-
I'm looking forward to Origin.
Oh, Consolidated Outland. Forgot again. No Crusader. Boo.
Oh, there's no.
Oh yeah, it's the constant. Yeah, that's the. Yeah, that's the 4. It's gonna be
Yeah,
CO.
those are just the ones we're releasing on.
Those are just really not the ones that are being worked on.
There are other manufacturers being worked on.
Yep.
Imply from that what you wish.
Reveal the new. Let's just push our luck. You revealed that there's going to be another Kruger ship. This is not another Wolf variant. You want to. Let's give him the name. Let's give him the name.
The name.
And let him speculate.
I'm totally panicking that this is Stingray.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Sorry, I was just making sure it wasn't a working title because we have some quite interesting working titles.
Yeah, we do.
No. So the Stingray will be the name of the next Kruger ship some point next
Stingray.
year, and people can guess.
Stingray.
Speculate about what that is. And
It's gonna be
then
a fighter. Stingray.
Let's end on a high note. This is IAE. We're about to go into the finale. The finale where I think all the ships come back.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be Consolidated Outland.
The
Is the
big
Forge.
ship
They spoke
for
about it
IAE
earlier.
this year was the Perseus.
Perseus,
I mean,
yeah.
it was always like a big ship. The big ship for Fleet Week this year was the Idris. What was the big ship for IAE last year?
Polaris.
Polaris. Oh, the big ship for IAE last year is the Polaris. Tell people what the big ship for IAE is next year.
The big ship planned for next
IE.
IE is the RSI Galaxy.
The Galaxy, right? That's the one that looks like a energy sword.
There you go.
Just like we said, we were going to do the RSI ships in a series. Still sticking to that.
Yeah, so 3 RSI big
There
ships.
is, from some of the
Holy.
manufacturers, there's multiple ships coming, not just.
Oh yeah. That's not. We listed like.
I saw some people asking about certain ships.
No, we listed like 11 manufacturers. That's not only 11 ships. We did 27 ships this year.
Yeah.
So probably gonna be like
I don't know
27
how
or
many ships.
30.
I can't remember off the top of my head how many ships next year, but it's close, if not
About the same.
Yeah.
about the same. So some of those manufacturers have multiple.
Some big, some small.
Yep. That's been
2026.
Star Citizen Live. Lots of ship talk. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had some laughs.
That's a whole
we had
bunch
some-
of
we had some-
information.
we had some good
2026 is
news.
going to be
We had
crazy.
some bad
I
news,
ain't gonna
But all
lie.
throughout it, we had some real news. And as always, I'm eternally appreciative to John and Ben and Mark who are willing to come on here and speak candidly about this stuff. Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you
Nah,
as
that's
always
gonna
for
be
continuing to support Star
crazy.
Citizen as we're closing out our 13th year, moving into our 14th year. I think those numbers are correct.
Nah, but that's actually crazy. I thought this year was crazy, so next year is gonna be even crazier. That's actually damn. It's gonna be 27 ships. There's so much going on. They're gonna be adding a lot more features next year. The railing looks freaking fire. I'm gonna be keeping a close eye on that one. The Ironclad is a Drake ship. I don't really like it. I ain't gonna lie to you. And a new Origin vehicle. Yeah, hopefully we get a good medium ship. I think Origin is just like, it's one of the nicer ships, like manufacturers, but their stuff is either way overpriced or there's just not enough like things you can use, like different type of ships. So I think the only medium ship is the 400i. Is it the one that looks like a yacht? It looks like a boat. That one, we need something else. And their designs, I'm like, I know they like to stay with these like boats and things, but can we make something that's a little bit nicer boat? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I want something that's cool that I can use, buy, and feel cool using. They don't have a lot of that except for like the 315s and whatnot. So if we get like a medium version of like a 315 in that like similar design or something, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, that's the thing. I want a cargo ship. If we get a cargo ship from Origin, and the Origin ships seem to be tanky enough and they seem to have decent gun power. So I'd like to see what a cargo variant of an Origin ship would be. I think it would be pretty awesome because I think the ones they have right now, they don't have much cargo. Like the big one, is it the 600i? It has like maybe 40 cargo space. It's got good guns, but has 40 cargo space. The smaller one, the 400, has like 24 cargo space or something like that. They're really, really small. So I'd want to see a cargo ship. If they're going to bring a ship in, that's what I'd like to see next.